Vibe blowing at the J, got the loud jumping at the bag. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bag. Vibe blowing at my J, got the loud jumping at the bag. Everything I'm on slack.
We've been with the Brazilians. This will be the first.
They wild, I think.
I'm innocent.
Bro, you hear that guy?
What's going on, everybody? It is Coach Greg Adams back in here with another YouTube live stream. Shout out to the Coach Gang. And that's you for being in here, being involved, and being active on this YouTube channel. And welcome back to the internationally known Mickey Ficky Wake Up Show, part of the Free Agent Lifestyle Podcast here on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. You in here with the Bruce Wayne of this ish, the King of Kings, the King of Content, and the Speaker of Truth, yours truly, the Notorious One, aka Mr. Coach Alini, better known as the prognosticator, Coach Stradamus. And you're not in the Desert Storm bunker. You're in the home of the Ticas, Costa Rica, with none other than EWF. That is every woman's fantasy and the whole fucking show. I'm the CEO, Nigaro of Fixes Binds LLC, the unbinder, the undebatable, the undisputed best entertainment here on YouTube. You can call me Senor Gregorio Graybeard. The Ticas love to call me Mr. Third Leg Greg. Also the man with one trabajo. That is the Mitch Slapper. I'm the anointed one. You can acknowledge me. I'm the founding father of the After Pill. I'm the junior college sociologist, the Morpheus of the mating matrix, the chocolated Confucius, the Black Moses, the deliverer, also known as the man that walks in the spirit of Elijah. I'm the man with more nicknames than anyone in the game. But in case you forget those names, just call me CGA, the benevolent monarch. See God Allah. And I'll be the 14-time demonetized champion of YouTube. We got a great show for you lined up today. Today, we're going to talk about what we talked about not that long ago, the irony. Coach Stradamus at it again. We have a World National Basketball Association basketball player. His name is DeAndre Ayton. He is the former #1 draft pick out of, I believe, the University of Arizona. He's bounced around the NBA. He's not proven to be the #1 draft pick that he's been picked. But, of course, sometimes you have a weak draft class. But DeAndre Ayton, the #1 draft pick from the NBA draft a few years ago, he now plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's being accused of leaving a whore stranded in Turks and Caicos, all right? According to the IG model, she was stranded in the middle of nowhere. We're going to talk about aftercare today. We're going to read the story. I was just talking about this, and I just talked about this. A lot of people are like, Coach, sound like you talking from experience. Of course I'm talking from experience. They call me See God Allah. I've been living for almost 50 years on this planet. Yes, I have experience. And yes, the NBA and the NFL and the Major League Baseball and the World Wrestling Federation needs to bring me in to talk to these young athletes. We're going to talk about, was he in the right for leaving a horse-stranded IG model, an IG model, an OnlyFans model? Was he right for leaving this 304 skeezer stranded in Turks and Caicos, according to her? Or is she telling a lie? We're going to talk about why she was left stranded, according to her. She didn't want to give up them fat BBL booty cheeks up in Turks and Caicos, and she wanted to freeload and drink up all the drink and eat up all the food and smoke up all the smoke. And she wanted to be having a party, but she didn't want to pay with the peace leave. All right. All men pay and all women pay with the peace leave. She didn't want to pay up, so she got left stranded. Did Deandre Ayton make a good decision by leaving this geezer in the middle of Turks and Caicos, or should he possibly have done a little bit more aftercare, according to this? We're going to talk about this. This is a widely debated topic. We have men that hate women talking about leave these hoes stranded if they don't give up the booty cheeks. All right, he was right for kicking her to the curb and leaving her in the middle of the ocean, the Caribbean Queens in the British West Indies and the British Isles. He was right for leaving that skeezer there. And there's some women that said, boy, was she in the wrong. All right. And some women saying women don't owe you any booty cheeks, despite the fact that you flew in from the mainland over into the British West Indies, if you will. They don't owe you no booty cheeks. I mean, listen, I'm going to have job security for a long time, as long as these platforms don't censor me like they do. But we're going to talk about that. Plus, should men lower their standards on dating and dating apps? We have an article by the New York Post, the New World Order sound effect, saying that men should indeed lower their expectations and standards on dating apps. Oh, the humanity. Plus the T app with another security breach. Now we're finding out the DMs that a lot of these women are sending. And Facebook literally got my page. They didn't terminate the page, but now I can't even add more followers to the page. All right, my Facebook page. Because I put all those fat orangutans, them big old fat overweight beer bully sweat hogs. I put their pictures up there and they gave me a ban. All right, I can't invite people to like the page. These platforms are giving me a headache, man. TikTok gave me I reviewed an Andrew Tate video. It wasn't even one of his misogynist videos, and they gave me a community strike. All right, what is going on, man? Anyway, to contribute to today's show, $, the Notorious CGA on the Cash App. It has been Coach Greg Adams TV. PayPal is paypal.me/Coach Greg Adams. And that is near the top of the description box on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. And you can super chat by clicking the link on the top of the live chat on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel. Shout out to you, brothers, man. We are in Costa Rica. This is my last day. I'm checking out of the hotel and I'm headed to Panama. We're going to Panama. And I'm going to be putting hands on hips in Panama as well. All right. I've been having a party out here and I was sleeping in tucked safely next to a Tika yesterday morning, so there was no show. But I don't even know if there's going to be a show the rest of the week. We might do a show on Saturday, but I got my hands full out here in Central America. All right, being safe out here, Central America. All right, but anyway, there are some people that contributed. The point I was making was there were some people who contributed thinking there was a show yesterday. So we're going to get to these earlier contributors to today's show and the people that thought there was going to be a show yesterday. All right, but there wasn't a show. All right, they're not. When I'm on vacation, there might not be a show. All right, sometimes there'll be a show, sometimes there's not. All right, because somebody was wrapped in my warm embrace. All right, yes indeed. All right, we got that going on, man. Yeah, Saturday, man. Listen, I got something going on brewing today and tomorrow and Friday. I'm gonna be worn out. All right, I don't know what they call the women in Panama, but in Costa Rica they call them ticas. Whatever they are in Panama, these women are ready to go. All right, they're raring to go, all right, to be in my warm embrace. Shout out to the Boss Up 2025 group in the Money Mindset. Your replay is up. I hope you guys understand that uploading videos and uploading things onto the internet and hotels is disaster. All right, downloading it is disastrous as well, but it's a little bit easier to download things, but uploading things to Al Gore's internet is absolutely disgraceful. It takes almost an hour to upload things, but the replay for the Money Mindset replay, the legendary Theo WAF and that AI cloud stream and the AWS is up. If you're on the Money Mindset, go ahead and join that and get the replay up there. There's a new password. The end of the month is coming as well, so pay up your dues. But that stream is available. And if you guys are looking for some direction and you're misguided and undecided, check out the Money Mindset. The Money Mindset is an amazing group of people, specifically the majority of men. I believe there are some women in the Money Mindset. Don't get it twisted. Women love old CGA and women be learning, but they keep it quiet. All right, based on some of the things that I see in terms of the names of the people that belong to the Money Mindset, there are some women in there. But shout out to the men and women of the Money Mindset. I appreciate you for contributing. And the charge that you guys are getting, you're getting that tenfold back in terms of information. And if you're misguided on the other side and you're looking for some direction, we had a great stream on Sunday. Check it out. The Patreon link is right there. Patreon.com/Coach Greg Adams. If you're on your mobile phone, turn that son of a bitch sideways and click that link. Save that link right there, and then you can register for the Money Mindset. And also, we got a meetup coming up. We got a meetup coming up at the end of August. All right, we're going to tell you where that location is, but the first people to know where that location is and to apply to be able to attend this, because there's limited capacity. And it's not going to be on the West Coast. We're going in the middle of the country. Well, not smack dab in the middle, but we're going to a location that has easy access for people who can get in and get out. And the people who will get that link will be the people of the Money Mindset and locals. You guys will get first access to those and the discounts that are associated with those. The meetup coming up here at the end of August. All right, I'm excited about it. And it's going to be a place that I'm thinking about Memphis. Nah, not Memphis. All right. Not Memphis. All right. But we're going to do a couple of meetups scheduled here. We're going to see how this one goes. And then we do have possibly 2 or 3 more scheduled coming up in the rest of the year for the remainder of the year. Yeah. All right. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's get to these earlier contributors to today's show. Now that we got the business of the business out of the way, shout out to Mr. Commander is in the building, and that is a co-sponsorship early in the morning. That was yesterday. All right. It seems like it was yesterday. All right. Shout out to our brother. It is Udobi. He says, I just saw a video of Karuchi at Deon Sanders' side crying in the hospital because he has bladder cancer. He says, man, she's not yours. It's just your turn. Women are parasites looking for a host. This was yesterday, and that was big feral news. Unfortunately, Deon Sanders is really going through a state of disrepair, falling apart. Men take notes. He lived a fantastic, wonderful life as one of the greatest athletes to ever live. Obviously, he's having some health issues, breaking down, and all of that time on the field is definitely coming back. Bladder cancer, get well soon, Coach Sanders. We don't want to see you out there, with in that condition. And of course, now you minus a couple of toes, but you got Karuchi by your side, a 37-year-old Karuchi, past her prime Karuchi, but is still pretty fine. Filipina. Is she Filipina? If I'm not mistaken, she's partially Filipina. All right, them Filipinas, man, I'm going to tell you, man, she's partially Pina. But of course, them people are parasites, man. Women are parasites. They're going to find a host, and she going to go all the way around. She started with the young rich men. Now she with old rich men, man. I'm going to tell you, she ain't yours. It's just your turn. She not your girl. She's our girl. Not only that, and the Y is silent. And at some particular point, it doesn't matter, man. These women are survivors. They survive us. Oh, she's Vietnamese. She's not Filipina. She's Vietnamese. Yeah, well, them too. What kind of fuck you give me over there? Okay, them too. All right. I think she is Vietnamese because I did look it up. I was like, she might be Filipina too, but nah, she Vietnamese. She's Viet. All right. She's partially Vietnamese. But shout out to Deon Sanders. No bladder, minus a couple of toes. Oh, the humanity. Gentlemen, let's keep ourselves in good health. All right. Shout out to you on that story here. I didn't even report that story, but yeah. Shout out to Rockman. Ingram is in the building. He says nothing. All right. So we appreciate his support. Shout out to Jay. He says, hey, coach, he says, why do women often brag about their options and or better men out there when seeking a relationship, but they are still single? Well, that's a sales tactic. You got to remember, women are selling to you. They're selling availability. They're selling the fact that there's limited supply only. They're also selling that there are other men putting pressure on them, which in fact, they're not completely lying. There are other men that are putting pressure on them. There are women that are saying they choose to be single, but they do have options out here. So let's just get it straight. Women do have options. Are they good options all the time? Absolutely not. This is why they're also looking for other people and prospects And they also want to tell you that they do have other people reaching out to them. So yes, there are people reaching out to them. Sometimes there are men that just want to hit it. Sometimes there are men that are sneaky fuckers, right? They'll basically be trying to get to know the woman, and their intentions are pure, and the woman stringing him along because she really likes him, but he's not an option like you are. She's hoping that you're a better option that can provide 85% of what she needs. And she can keep these other guys providing the 15%, the rest of the 15% of what she needs. You got to remember, most women cannot find a guy that can provide 100% of what she needs. So she needs a bevy of options. She needs what they call a beta male orbit, or she needs men in their orbit for her to feel like that she can have a fallout, a safety zone, somebody to fall back to in case you don't do what you need to be doing, right? You don't do what you need to be doing, she needs to fall back on. So the reality is her options aren't as good as she believes, but she does have options, all right? Most of her options are sexual though, and she knows this, but she's gonna not tell you that. She's gonna be like, well, this guy does this and this guy said that. And most of the time she's comparing you to losers, right? Because if she really had the man she wants, she wouldn't be talking to no other man. I mean, in principle, but we also know that women keep rosters as well. Women keep rosters. So there are other men that possibly might move past you. But what she's trying to do is get you to apply some pressure. All right. So she's letting you know that there's other men out there. This is a dating tactic. This is a mating strategy for them. And it's also hypocritical because they expect you to not be doing this at all. All right. You expect you to be doing this at all. They don't want you to be doing something like that. In fact, I had a Tika over here, a nice thick mulatto Tika, and she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to be your Costa Rican girlfriend. But she was like, you can't have no other girlfriends. I'm like, girl, you all the way in Costa Rica, you can't even come to the United States. How the hell you regulating me have another girl? Yeah, they be applying pressure out here. But man, the most beautifulest women in the world don't have the guys, the available options that she's telling you about. Just understand that they're not that good of an option that she's telling you about. But it is what it is. No, she wasn't a torta homie. All right. She was a baddie. All right. You know what I be doing out here? I be putting hands on baddies' hips out here. Young baddies too. You know what I mean? I like them young. Hey, listen. I'm unashamed. I'm unapologetic about this. I like young women. All right. My dick can't get hard for older women like that. Now it can, but it can't really get that hard. You know what I mean? For a younger woman, it's just going to be like full salute. All right. Older women, it'll be like, all right, I guess we can hang out. You know what I mean? Let me finish the job. All right. Certainly that won't be 2 rounds. Younger woman, there'll be 2 rounds. She's sticking around long enough, there'll be 2 rounds. I'm just telling you how it is. All right. You can call me what you want, but that's the way it goes. All right. That's the way my body and biology works. My dick only gets hard for younger women. All right. I mean, talking about hard. 2 round hard. 3 rounds hard. All right. Maybe a 4th. All right. An older woman, I'll be like, oh, I'm all done here. You know what I mean? I guess we can do the cleanup and I'll see you later. You know what I mean? The aftermath is absolutely ravishing. All right. The aftermath is ravishing. You know what I mean? I'm looking like this and looking at the disaster zone. I'm like, we need to put a cone up out here. We need to put a cone up. All right. This is a disaster. All right. But I'll get a round off. All right. It is what it is. Shout out to our brother. It is George. He says, I took a solo trip to Mexico and catching up. He says, loved your doom and gloom segment from Friday about how feminism is causing real world problems. He says, you buttoned it up well at the end in that they won't go back. So you won't even try. All right. So we're not going backwards. We're Pandora's box is here. I'm fully accepted our fate and the direction that marriage and relationships and childbirth is going. And I know a lot of men really get upset with me. You know, I know there's a lot of men that really get upset. They come from the genres or the niches of what I would say are the red pill ragers. I wouldn't say they're the incels, but I would say they're the red pill ragers, particularly maybe the MGTOWs. And these people are typically the hardest stance guys in the space. They typically, you know, you're not going to see their pictures, their face. You're going to see their name and a colorful icon. You might see a cartoon character or something like this. And I understand these guys. Listen, I'm a non-denominational person here. I'm the non-denominational person here. I don't care what genre of manosphere or outside the manosphere you come from if you're a listener. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. So I'm not going to exclude other people from listening to me. I would wish to enlighten everybody. But here's what happens. Men get upset with me. Men get upset with me because, like, I wrote the book, The Free Agent Lifestyle. They didn't read it. They typically are not supporters. They typically want us to support them, and we need to fight for men and stick together, but they never really ever contribute. All right. So what'll happen is the message doesn't go their way, and then they riot. All right. They oh, you're a turncoat. But if you read the book, The Free Agent Lifestyle, I'm literally telling you how it is. And if you read the book, The Evolution, I told you we would be in this position. I told you we would be here. The position we're in today, the content that I made for the last 6 years, I told you we're going to be here. Okay. Now, what you want me to do is now, after I told you we're going to be here, you want me to now ridicule everybody and tell them not to be here. We need to change this. I'm like, bro, I told you it was going to be here. We didn't have no other choice but to get to this position. We have a bad economy. I told you, economic collapse of epic proportion. I said that in 2019. And here we are. We're in a horrible economy for young people. You take Gen Z entering into this horrible economy, and then you're going to have a monetized dating at an epic rate, or a overt monetized dating, which you want to call prostitution. Now, you want me to be out here raging about the current state of dating and relationships and monetized dating in women. How am I going to rage against it when I told you we were going to be here? Right. Why would you want me to rage? Why would you want me to change it? Why would you want me to call it out? I told you this was going to happen, you goofball. I told you this is what's going to happen. All right. That's why they call me Coach Diamonds. Now you want me to somehow be like, we need to change it. I need to call out the whores. And this is just another name for prostitution. I told you that's what you're going to be doing. So why would I rage against it when I told you we would be here, goofy? So now that I'm using it, you're mad that I'm using it, but I'm using what I told you was going to be the state of the world. I said that was going to be the state of the world. I'm using that state of the world to my advantage. So why would I rage against it, goofy? Right? But there's some men out here completely goofy. You're out here contributing to the decay of society. Bro, the society was already decaying. It was already decaying, and I said it was going to decay further. It's not going to get better. So that's where we are. Okay, if you broke, just say that. And it ain't getting any better. Though what you think is there's going to be some podcaster that's going to talk sense into everybody, and everybody's going to come to a consensus to repair the damage. The dam is broken. The dam is broken. I'm not going to sit here and try to rage and get my blood pressure up when there's nice young pieces of calico out here I can pluck from. Niggas want me to rage, bro. What are you talking about, man? Hey, I'm out here doing what I need to do, and trust me, I ain't got enough money or dick to fuck this up. All right, it's already fucked. It's FUBAR. It's fucked up beyond all repair. I'm gonna just let you know, I don't have enough money or dick to fuck it up. All right, if I stop, it will keep going. If I stop, it will keep going. Trust me, my money ain't that long. Neither is my dong. All right. I ain't got enough dick out here to fuck it up even worse than it is already. All right. It's FUBAR. Fucked up beyond all repair. Even if I said, you know what, I'm going to be the good guy in this situation. Nothing. It would affect nothing. All right. It's still going to go the way it's going. So anyway, get your money up, nigga. Boss up. Read my book, Free Agent Lifestyle, The Evolution. I told you we would be here. It's what it is. All right. So anyway, you can rage, but nigga, I'm going to be doing what I'm doing. Shout out to No Government Name says, do you think the laws will ever conform to the monetized dating marketplace? If so, when? And what would that look like? Absolutely. I mean, they've already gave us a couple of precursors, namely Kamala Harris. Sex work is work. All right, they've been pushing the line towards that. They're going to legalize it at some particular point. They're going to legalize monetized dating. They don't have any choice. All right, Donald Trump and the conservatives are trying to tell white people to have babies. That ain't going to help. All right, they're trying to give them $5,000 in tax rebates. All right, and child tax credits. That ain't going to help. All right, so you're going to have the liberal cities fully get to the point where they decriminalize it. They've already done this. I reported this in 2019, Los Angeles, New York, and many other of these blue cities. They're going to decriminalize it to that point, to that extent. We already looked the other way. Diddy was the only kind of warning shot that they're probably going to, get some people on it. But if you remember, Diddy was not charged with sex trafficking women. He was charged with sex trafficking men. My man said OnlyFans is banned in China. What does that have to do with me? Right? They're going to ban OnlyFans. No, they're not. All right. It's not going to happen in the United States. So niggas be like, what? Are you in China? They ban OnlyFans in China. So what? All right. What does that have to do with the United States of America? Since when do we follow what China do? Never. All right. So anyway, with that being said, don't get your hopes up. All right. But yes, that's where we're going. No, Sharia law is not coming. You know, Sharia law. All right. No, it's not coming. All right. And it is what it is. He said they need to ban it. They won't. All right. They won't. They just be getting their hopes up. America needs to ban it. All right. Women need to go back to the kitchen and be loyal, and they need to be barefoot and pregnant, and they need to ban it. So what? Why? What's going to happen? What's going to happen when they ban it? Like, see, it's these guys like this, all right, that just be sitting there be saying goofy shit. Like, they need to ban it. All right. They're not going to ban it. All right. Don't get your hopes up. They are not going to ban it. And if they ban it, by the time they ban it, there'll be another platform. All right. So, period. Deal with it. All right. Anyway. All right. Deal with it. All right. Nah, they ain't fixing to ban it. All right. Yeah. Let's get their hopes up. So what's going to happen? You think these girls are going to now date you? All right. Oh, okay. These girls can't make money on the internet. So now they got to marry us. All right. Nope, that ain't going to happen. So don't get your hopes up. But you know what? We got our hopes up because we got the greatest show on earth. We're going to get into the first segment, and it is Straggle and Sniggle Theater already. Let's go.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me. You can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky. Come get high with me. That's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Let's go. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. We're off and running. All right. You didn't read my book, De-Evolution. They're not banning it. All right. And if they do, there'll be another place that they're going. Anyway, do me a favor, man. Hit the like button. We got a great show for you lined up. We got Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Let's get into it first. We're going to go to church. We're going to go to church out here, and we have a woman out here that wanted to, I think this is what they call the first lady for the white people in here. The first lady is typically known as the wife of the church. All right. So typically what the first lady will do is she'll pray over the food. Sometimes she'll get up and speak, maybe at the women's section of the church or something like that. Every now and then she'll get up. She has a very specific role. She'll be dressed to the nine and have her wig and her hair done. And the first lady does get to call out bullshit. Now, what happens is in these churches, the first lady is also known as the woman that has to look after the pastor when he has affairs with these hoes. All right. So she's got to bat away all of these hot in the punani hoes that trying to get at the pastor. Y'all worrying about OnlyFans, but they got these hus in the church. All right. So it ain't going to stop a damn thing. And so there's the first lady. I'm assuming it's the first lady, but I may be wrong around here. But let's go to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm pretty sure it says right here, she waited till after service. Sis called out Deaconess Keisha for eyeing her man in church. Drama didn't wait for the benediction. Let's hear the video.
Deaconess Keisha, you got one more time to be waiting on my husband after service. Next time, an ambulance gonna be waiting on you, and your family gonna get that call. Deaconess Keisha, you got one more time to be waiting on my husband after service. Next time, an ambulance gonna be waiting on you, and your family gonna get that call.
All the humanity. All right, you guys are worried about OnlyFans, but Deaconess Keisha is in these streets with Pastor Clap Cheeks or Pastor Poke Chop, and Deacon Clap Cheeks is irate right now. All right, Deacon Clap Cheeks is irate. And look at the sisters out here acting like they surprised. Huh? What? Deaconess Keisha doing what? Deaconess Keisha been a whore. All right, she been a schizoid for a long time. All right, most of these women in church were skeezers. All right, just so you guys know, they were skeezers. They probably half of them still skeezers, and then they halfway in church, 1 foot in the church and 1 foot in these streets. So they know who been hoeing out here. They know who been out there doing the butt. Sexy. And all right, I like this particular video right there, but we don't know if this is a real video. I get it. But Deaconess Keisha out here throwing that neck back, dropping that neck. She said, you don't have to call. It's okay, girl. All right, don't be out here, Deaconess Keisha.
Deaconess Keisha, you got one more time to be waiting on my husband after service. Next time, an ambulance gonna be waiting on you. And
an ambulance, not the ambulance. The ambulance is gonna be waiting on you. But I'm gonna tell you, man, church is like that. Church been like that for a long time. You know what I mean? When they go into church and you hear the pastor talking about, oh, Sister Odell. Sister Odell was a good God-fearing sister. All right. She brought healing to the soul. You know, he didn't touch Sister Odell. He didn't touch Sister Odell. All right. The way he be talking about it, there was no sister like Sister Odell. She was the best sister of all time. I tell you, boy, she can light up a room. All right. You always heard Sister Odell coming with those heels. Those church heels start clop, 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 clopping down the hall. All right. Sister Odell was the best sister. All right. Sister Odell used to drop that neck. All right. Sister Odell used to drop that neck, and Pastor used to all up in her. All right. You already knew that's the case, but that's neither here nor there. I didn't tell you anything different and new. All right. We got Straggle with Sniggle Theater. The young men are irate about the dating prospects out here. We're going to go to Pookie, or maybe not Pookie. We have this guy right here. He's going crazy right there. Look at him. All right. He does look like a Pookie. He has all tatted up. Look at him. He's all tatted up. Even the Pookies are struggling there. All right. And it says right here, when you're about to plan a date, but you hear all the ninjas who ain't playing ish and still crack laughing. All right. It says right here, it's okay. She just gave him her body, gave them her body in giving you her heart. All right. So Pookie is beside himself right now. He definitely is irate. All right. He definitely is disgusted. And he thinks it's reprehensible how these women are treating you guys out here. This is the guys like, they need to ban OnlyFans, ass niggas. Right? As if that's going to help these women out here. They still going to be giving up the guts out here to who they want to. And yes, this is definitely a young man situation here. I feel sad and sorry about the young men out here. You're going through this particular term out here because these women are out here giving up that crack. All right? They out here having fun. All right? At least 60-70% of them, and even better. Okay? But you're always the one that they want to make a change. I'm a changed woman. All right. I've turned the page on that one right here. You're judging me from my past. All right. That's what I did in the past when I was young and dumb and full of cum. Now, forget the trains and the gangbangs. Forget the celebrity outings and all of that. Forget the news and the DMs. I'm a changed woman. She's been changed for 36 days. And she telling you you're judging her from her past out here. But I want to give you my heart. All right. And listen, a lot of men go through this particular thing where the woman says, listen, I know I gave them punani, but I'm going to give you something better. I'm going to give you my time. All right. I'm going to give you my heart. I'm going to give you the opportunity to pay for my shit. Right. Who wants that? All right. Said no man ever. All right. If a man trying to get with a schizoid, he definitely trying to crack. All right. Last thing he wants to do is deal with a schizoid in her heart. Right. Not at all. Right? Not at all. That's a disaster. Poor young, even Pookie is going through it, man. He is definitely here, and he needs to change his pillowcases and his sheets on this bed. Hey, young men, I'm going to just let you know, guys, right now. All right, let me know something right here. You need to change your bed sheets every 2 weeks, at least. All right, I change mine every 3 women I lay on the sheets. All right, but that's neither here nor there. But typically what I do is every 3 days. All right, every 3 days I change my sheets. All right, even probably less depending on how the weekend went. All right. But if you go past 2 weeks without changing your sheets and your pillowcases, you're a nasty, disgusting human being. All right. You definitely don't have extra sheets. You don't even need extra sheets. Just throw the ones in the wash and then make up the bed when they're done. All right. You don't want to be like this guy out here with these rotten ass sheets. Look at this pillowcase. These things are a disaster. All right. And get some nice thread count sheets right here. Look at this right here. I know, man, everybody's on a budget. Okay. Everybody's on the budget. All right. So anyway, at least every 2 weeks. That's probably the most hygienic thing. And shower before you get in the bed. All right. Shower before you get in the bed. All right. Before you lay down to sleep. Now I lay me down to sleep. Shower before you get in the bed. All right. Don't wait till the morning and put your stinking ass in them sheets. Anyway, I'm just here being the father you never had. Okay. We got Straggle and Sniggle Theater pressing on. We have a woman from Washington, D.C. She says she's going to explain why she likes hood niggas over good men. All right. So, oh my goodness. All right. She looks like it too. This is why I have a no strag policy. All right. But she says, listen, you good men can't do it for you. This is definitely following up the last video. DC woman explains why she likes hood niggas.
Facts. But you can't sound and talk like this and get no king, just street niggas. I like street niggas. Don't get me wrong to think that I can't get a king. Y'all kings is unattractive. Y'all niggas ugly. On me. Let's keep it honest. All y'all niggas that want to treat me right, I don't like y'all niggas. I'm not one to settle. I'm not settling. Bitch, you gonna look good. When you beside me, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm sorry. I could find good niggas, but those good niggas be ugly niggas. On me. The niggas that's gonna treat you the way you want to be treated, they ugly. You don't like them niggas. I'm not settling. What you talking about? You gonna be a trick. You're not finna be my man. I don't give a fuck. So if that gonna leave me unhappy, I'm finna be unhappy. I'm gonna be happy as shit with the money that I make.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely a strag right here. You know, definitely a no strag policy for CGA. She said she don't like good men. All right, she's gonna be single and she's gonna be not happy with my money. Anybody that says my like that, you know they hood. That's definitely Baltimore, Los Angeles, and the DMV. All right, I'm gonna be happy with my money. All right, why do you have to emphasize the mind like that? All right, so that definitely is definitely a sassy mindset. And why is her wig all pushed back and crooked like this? Somebody needs to tell me, is this a Washington, D.C. thing? Is this gang affiliated? She definitely is gang affiliated. She says, I like hood niggas. And all women like hood niggas. The thing is, all women like hood niggas. All right, they're intrigued by them. Even your good girls like hood niggas. All right, and when I say hood niggas, I mean like, you know, Pookies and Ray Rays, even white boys and, you know, these type of things, you know, white boys that are on the fringe. They are like, it's kind of like a woman with curvaceous curves that we see her, and she got big breasts, and she got big booty, big country titties. Like, yeah. And we know she's a strag. We're like, yeah, I'm going to fuck. All right. But that's how they do it too. Now, that doesn't mean they'll all go, but they're all intrigued by them. They all kind of want to get nutted in by one. Like, they all kind of want to suck one off. So they all have this mindset. Now, they all kind of have done it a little bit, maybe onesie, twosie, and then they came off of it and said, you know what, that STI I caught in my throat was a little bit too much. All right, and so now all of a sudden they move off the grid. You know what I mean? The time he shot somebody in the head and she got arrested and picked up a misdemeanor for harboring a fugitive was a little too much. All right, so she said, I'm gonna just go ahead and hunker down and get me a good man. All right, but in her case, this DC strag is saying the loud part, the quiet part out loud, that she likes hood niggas to the end, right? Hood niggas till the bitter end, all right? And some of you guys be trying to make girlfriends and wives out of these skeezers, all right? But shout out to you guys.
Facts, but you can't sound and talk like this and get no king, just street niggas. I like street niggas. Don't get me wrong to think that I can't get a king. Y'all kings is unattractive. Y'all,
all right, y'all kings are unattractive. Y'all
niggas ugly.
We ugly.
On me, let's keep it honest. All y'all niggas that want to treat me right, I don't like y'all.
I don't like y'all. All right. Y'all want to treat me right. Not me. But she'll be the first one putting 87 guys on the T app. All right. She'll be the first one on the T app saying all these niggas ain't ish.
Niggas. I'm not one to settle. I'm not settling. You gonna look good when you beside me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm sorry. I could find good niggas, but those good niggas be ugly niggas.
All right, all right. Hey, listen, I can't argue with them. The good niggas be ugly niggas, and a lot of them be fat, and a lot of y'all boring as hell listening to. A lot of y'all not exciting. All right, you got to remember, man. Once a woman has already kind of entered into this life, she's gonna see you as a goody two shoe. She's gonna see you as hella boring, and it doesn't matter what race she is. She's going to see you as boring. Now, some women will see the benefit of being with your boring ass, but trust and believe she's going to be still excited about some pookies. So she's not entirely wrong. I accept it. You guys don't accept it, but she's not entirely wrong. Once she's opened up herself to this life, and once she becomes the succubus, demon, witch, devil worshiping witch, she cannot go back to boring. All right. Now, she wants to go to boring. She actually was like, hey, this nigga go to bed at 9:30. I think I could become accustomed to his life. But at the same time, Pookie gonna be calling. Pookie gonna be on the inbox. Pookie gonna need a drug mule. Pookie gonna be up at 12:30 and want to slide through. All right. And then she gonna be like, well, can't give up the life. All right. She can't truly give up that life right there. And then listen to this.
On me. The niggas that's gonna treat you the way you want to be treated, they ugly. You don't like them niggas. I'm not settling. What you talking about? You gonna be a trick. You're not finna be my man. I don't give a fuck.
My man.
So if that gonna leave me unhappy, I'm finna be unhappy. I'm
finna
be happy as shit with the money that I make. Facts, but
and she also said you're gonna be my trick. All right. So she's saying that there's a lane which men have to understand. Yeah, you're gonna be your trick. So she'll let you trick on her. All right. She'll let you trick on her because listen, let me just tell you something. I'm gonna just tell you something. Listen. A lot of you guys say you don't like women like this, but y'all be quick to fuck on these women. Y'all be quick to get mad on the internet about these women. Y'all try to come out here. Anytime I see you black content creators and you black men show me videos of skeezers going off like this, I'm like, why are you so mad? This is literally the lowest fruit on the rung. All right, this is the lowest hanging fruit out here. All right, these women, nobody want them except you niggas. All right, and it's mostly the good guys. It's mostly the good guys that are somewhat intrigued about these. These are the women that Pookie gets for free. Right? These are the women most likely that gets Pookie for free. These be the women that be at the amusement park in they biker shorts with all that fat ass and hips and shit. And then y'all be mad. All right, y'all be mad. Oh, they all just taking Pookie, and she need to find me because I got a degree. All right, who cares about these people out here? Let these people die out. And Margaret Sanger's great, what do you call it? Eugenics. All right, let these people die out. Let them kill each other for all I'm concerned. But no, all right, you niggas be like, these sisters need to get it together. These sisters ain't never getting it together. They're gonna have Pookie, spawns, and babies. All right, these people will have the low-flight degenerates in our future. All right, and we got one more video. Straggle and Sniggle Theater checking in. We got a great video right here. This is the horror money calendar. All right, the horror money calendar. But he also threw the niggies under the bus. So this is I call it the skeezer calendar. And we talked about this because we know Fixes Binds LLC is in full effect. Whoever this gentleman is, I don't know who it is because somebody just copied, they screen recorded it and they uploaded it to Locals. And if you're not on Locals, man, get over on Locals. It is CoachGregAdams.locals.com. Go ahead and join us over there. You create a free account. But of course, to watch the pay-per-view streams on Sunday, you're going to need to pay, my nigga. All right, you're going to need to pay, and you're going to need to pay dearly. All right, but there's the link to Locals right here. But this is the skeezer money calendar. This is the Gen Z woman dating money calendar. Let's go ahead and play the video and see if he's being 100% factual.
This first week when rent is due, you're going to see a lot of niggas selling their PS5s. You're going to see a lot of girls on dates. You're going to see a lot of niggas selling their Jordans because the rent is due right here. So either they just paid the rent and they don't have it, or they're trying to hurry up, scramble, and get it before them late fees start tacking on, right? So this is the first week. Now right here, this blue zone, we're trying to recover from the rent. So nobody's really going to be outside, right? Now this green zone is back when she's going to forget about the nigga who just took her on the dates up here because she got her paycheck that has no rent. You might see her in some new Lulu outfits. Her Shein cart is going to be touching down. The broke niggas all of a sudden going to be thumbing through $500 on social media, talking about some y'all know what the fuck going on. XYZ, things of that nature. Now,
Sorry. What I said was, if you're on the dark side, you know this calendar all too well. If you're on the dark side, you know this calendar all too well. What this calendar represents is definitely if you're on social media, you're still going to know this calendar. But this calendar is going to make sense to you if you are learning about the dark side, because a lot of your messages, a lot of the hype that's going to be happening when you're on some of these dating apps or some of these sugar daddy apps, you're going to know by the amount of text messages you're going to get in this period of time, the amount of women that are going to start contacting you out of the blue, the amount of emails and messages you're going to get from women this time of the month on these sugar daddy apps. You're going to feel it, right? For some reason, the 26th is the highlight of it. And let me see what he has on this calendar. He has right here the 27th. At the start of the 27th into the 5th, it's going to be Fixes Binds LLC. All right, it's going to be pussy for sale. All right, it's going to be toes up and hands on hips. They're going to go crazy. All right, and this is going to be based on this Gregorian calendar. Okay, because the binds in that red zone are going to want to be fixed, and it's going to go all the way into the 5th of the next month. Okay, because they're not going to have the money. They're going to be in panic zone. They're also going to be stressed out. They're also going to be trying to ruin their other girlfriend's sugar daddy experience. All right, because they're stressed the hell out. They're going to be looking to make rent. All right, so now let's go ahead and zoom in. The middle of the month, he said, Mitch is going to be thumbing through $500 on social media. Yes, indeed. All right, people are going to be selling shoes and purses. This is where you hear sugar babies start saying they're selling their Coach bag. They're selling their Louis Vuitton bag that their sugar daddy got them. All right, all of a sudden they was wearing that Louis Vuitton bag that they got for Valentine's Day, but now you don't see hide nor hair of that bag. All right, that bag has disappeared. All right, because they sell it. Now they're selling it and they're Shein outfits. I don't know why you're selling Shein outfits because they're already cheap. But you're seeing that going to happen there. There's going to be a very, 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 very large amount of traffic to your phone based on this one out here. And post the 5th, you're going to see the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th. This is when they recover because they finally made rent. They finally got that buying fixed, and they found 3 or 4 guys to drop that neck on. And so now they got they tired. All right, they tired, boss. They tired. Now let them finish here. He's going to go into the point where they was back outside having a party. All right, they having a party out there. Now let's see what happens at the end of the month. All right, near the end of the month. Take it away.
Now here we're going to be depressed about the financial decisions we made in the green. You know, I can't. You're going to see the post talking about some. Oh my God, I can't believe I bought that. He might be reselling the Jordans he bought here. She's gonna have a Shein blowout sale all of a sudden on her Snapchat, even though we don't want your clothes because we can get them brand new for Shein on ourselves. But that's what we're gonna see going on right here. Now, right here, this last week is when you're gonna see niggas, you know, hitting licks, trying to rob, maybe be going to jail. You're gonna see girls talking about where did all the provider men go?
Oh, that's a big one right there. You're also gonna see her doing drug runs for drug dealers. All right, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, they taking trips to Texas, to Arizona, to Nevada, and California. All right at the end of the month. All right during this period. It's not going to be the middle of the month. It's going to be the end of the month. All right, this is when they start hanging out with Pookie and they start trying to make that last couple of dollars for rent. All right, but yes, then you're also going to see women talking about where the real provider men. How come men don't provide and protect anymore? They're going to start making these tweets all on social media, and you're going to hear many, many women start talking about men used to provide, and these niggas ain't doing this, and they don't want to pay for that. All right, right near the end of the month, right where he's pointing right there. That's where you're going to see the end of those. You're going to see TikToks and tweets, and you're going to see all of these right at this point, because these women are going to be in a major, major pickle.
Where the tricks at, even though she was just independent boss babe up here. She had her own money. She was popping it. They might be going back on dates to try to save their money for the rent. Oh, and last and certainly not least, this is also the time when niggas will start posting about they 90-day run, and then they're going to be back spending their 90-day run money right here again the very next month.
All right, their 90-day run right there, man. Hey, man, that never fails. That is a great calendar there, and we've talked about that calendar definitely on the Locals program and the Locals app. Go over there on Locals and find out. But yes, all right, that app is that calendar is undefeated, and this does lead to many of the decisions that people make. Right, they're going to start talking about finding a new job. They're going to start talking about possibly joining the money mindset. They're going to start looking at ways to get certified right there at the end of that month, right, and into the beginning. But then once they get through that period where they get the 3-day pay or quit notice pinned to their door, all right, their roommate hasn't come up with their half of the rent, something like that, their sister kicks them out of their house, right? As soon as that comes up, then they're going to be fixed as buying LLC. The first thing they'll do is they'll sell some pink pussy. All right, that's the first thing they're going to do out here. They ain't going to get a job. They're going to be out here selling uncooked cinnamons and pink punani. All right, 100%. And just so you guys know, this is the state of the world. I cannot fix it. It's wreckable. That is Straggle and Sniggle Theater. We out.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right?
Straggle and Sniggle Theater. Sorry for muting myself. Unmute yourself, as Captain Daniels will say. Do me a favor, man. Hit that like button, and we're going to go ahead and get over to the contributors to today's show. We're going to get over to the Cash App and PayPal. Thank you for the contributions, for letting me stream on vacation. Yeah. Shout out to Preston. He had a good one from yesterday. He says, women will find a man with 85% of what she wants and then ruin the rest of his life trying to make him squeeze out and achieve that 15% that she's never satisfied with. This is 100% truth. This is the truth. By the way, the 80-20 rule is the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle has been used here in this space or the manosphere adjacent space to describe women choosing 20% of the men, right? And 80% of them are choosing this. We're seeing this play out in a variety of ways. And of course, the T app recently has been the latest thing to expose this. But there was an 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle is not just relationships. It applies to everything. That means 20% of the real estate agents sell 80% of the properties. And 80% of the real estate agents, all right, they only sell 20% of the properties. So the Pareto principle applies everywhere. There's also a Pareto principle related to what Preston is talking about. Women will get The best a woman can get is 80% of what she wants from one guy. All right, that is the absolute best. And even from myself, a miraculous miracle creator like myself, I cannot give a woman 100% of my pimping. All right, I cannot give her 100% what she wants, even myself. All right, so most of the time they're getting up to 80% of good, positive relationships from their men. Now, because they're insatiable, because they tend to get their feet put to sleep, because they tend to get bored in monogamous relationships first, they tend to believe there's a better option out there. There's a better princess. There's a perfect man out there. There's a guy that will know how to treat her 100% right. Well, she'll chase that. She'll chase that 20%. He says 85%, 15%, no matter how you cut it or slice it. It's the Pareto principle. And she will get 80% from one guy, but she will try to pester and ruin this nigga's life and put pressure on him to get that 20%. She'll complain, she'll stomp her feet, right? She'll waggle her finger, whatever she'll do. Okay, she'll do that and she'll be like, you got to do better. You got to do more. And what'll happen is the guy will be like, damn, bruh, like you're lucky to get what you're getting. Like I'm breaking my neck to give you what I'm giving you. I cannot get you that. I cannot love you in that way. I cannot love you in that special way. So what's she going to do? She's going to find that 20%. So that 20% will be gotten from available men, right? Work husbands, play husbands, homies she went to school with, guys that she's fucking, men in the beta male orbit, her roster. So she gets that 20% from someone else. And that 20% could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be financial, it could be something else. All right. So I dealt in the dark side with women that had relationships, but they needed financial support or they needed intimacy, right? This is why you have open relationships. This is why men and women cheat, because that person is not giving them that 20%. Now she'll trade that 20% for the 80% she got. Okay. She'll trade that 20%. Listen, women are doing this, whether they're regular relationships, whether they're monetized relationships. Women will literally have a guy giving them 80%, and they will find a guy giving the 20%, and she will compare the 20% guy to the 80% guy. And what will happen is you'll say, well, forget it. You know what? The 80% I was giving you, I'm going to give you 0. Right? This is what you need to do. The 80% I was giving you, I'm going to pull back and give you none of that. What you will be left with is the 20% from that guy. All right. And this can apply to men as well. But she'll be left with the 20%. And then she'll need to find another guy that's giving the 80%. So she's in a constant pursuit. She had the 80% from you. She needed the 20%. She goes with the 20% guy. You're the 80% guy. You pull out. You retract. You're like, no, forget all that. She's left with the 20% guy. She keeps the 20% guy, but then she knows it's not enough. So she's got to find another 80% guy. In order for her to pull this off, she's got to pull, she got to pull the wool over the 80% guy's eye, right? She got to be like, I'm single and I don't talk to anybody and I'm celibate and I haven't had sex, but she's fucking the 20% guy. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle. All right. It's a cycle that women have, it was pretty much explained in the story, The Husband Store, right? Where she goes to the husband store and she keeps going up because each floor tells her and promises her more. And then she gets to the top floor and says, listen, hey, you screwed up. You messed up. You should have picked one down there, but now you're up here. You fucked up. You passed up all the good options. So this is how women work. And this is typically how people work. It's just human nature. And this is nothing against women. We just compare the stories of how men experience women. This is exactly what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with. And most of the time they'll say, well, I don't care. All right, I'll just find another one. In their mind, they'll just find another 80% guy, which they can. All right, I'm not saying they won't. They tend to find them temporarily. However, when they find that 80% guy, that guy, she doesn't realize that guy has options. What she has to do is basically what you discovered about her at the 80%, you know her very well. You know her intimately. You kind of know her deepest, darkest secrets. You might know her more than anyone else. And so what'll happen is she's tried to, bat her eyes and tried to use love and tried to use sex to get you in. And she got you and you were overlooking her obvious deficiencies and flaws. Now she'll have to find another 80% guy to overlook her deficiencies and flaws, which is going to be impossible long term. Some women will do it. Some women will be able to do it and just find a guy weak enough. That doesn't mean this is a good thing for her. She's going to hate this guy. She's gonna like him just because he's giving her the 80%. But she's gonna discuss the guy. She's not gonna respect the guy. But she'll find one. She'll find one. She'll be like, I'll find another one. She'll find one. Doesn't mean she likes him. Doesn't mean she loves him. Doesn't mean she likes the way he fucks her and all of that stuff. She's gonna be disrespectful towards this guy. But she's got to set up the same goofy page one again with the 80% guy. And then if he finds out about who she really is, which she's a skeezer, then he might dump her as well. So she's got to keep this kind of hide the secret game as long as she can, right? She revealed herself to you. You were the 80% guy. You overlooked all these obvious deficiencies and you accepted her for the piece of shit that she is. Now, she's got to do that again, which is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. She can't find that guy easily. She'll find him temporarily. She'll find him for short term. Eventually, he'll find out who she is and he'll dip. Right? You'll be like, oh, fuck that. And then he'll also find out that she has the 20% guy over here. He'll find out that she has the 20% guy. And then he'll have to come to a conclusion. Wait a minute. Who is this guy over here? Oh, that's my homie that I went to school with. This is my work husband. This is my play cousin. This is my best friend. This is the guy that was my ex. This is my ex-baby daddy. This is my ex-boyfriend, my ex that you don't have to worry about. It's a constant loop that they're going through. You call it the death loop. I call it the shame spiral. There's constantly this going on all the way up until they're 40 and 45 and 50. Now, you think they're going to figure this out. You would think they're going to figure this out. The reality is they're not, because there are guys out here that are going to fake the funk like a nasty dunk. They're going to just keep making these women believe that they genuinely want to know them. And then they're going to get the pussy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 times, and then he's going to dip. Right? And then that woman's going to be like, I thought I had one. I thought I had he. That's why you see on the T app, they constantly are going through one guy after the next, because that guy sells her a dream. He acts like he wants to get to know her, and then she believes it. She falls for a hook, line, and sinker, or she thinks she got one. I got a goofy. And then he'll get 5 pieces of pussy and dip. And then now she got to find another guy. She got to go back into her Rolodex. Dude, she'll do this for years, decades. And you can't convince her that this is not productive, right? You can't even convince her, because she'll still be like, well, somebody going to pick me up. Somebody will take me. Okay, all right, all right. Meanwhile, you're going to be doing what you're doing. Shout out to our brother. It is Joe Thomas. He says, shout out to you, CGA. Thank you, Joe, for the contribution on the Cash Is App. We're going to head over to the Pay Pizzle and see what's going on. And do me a favor, man. Hit the like button, contribute to the day show. This is what you need to do, man, because I could be doing something else right now. All right. But we have no government name with some fantastic messages. We're going to get to his in a second. But we got him in here with some messages. I always try to save his to the middle of the show, because they're like long-ass questions, all right, which then I have to answer them. Okay, so let me see how far I need to go back. This was from, okay, so we got Kaylin up next. Kaylin in Greaseman, Texas. What does Kaylin have to say? He should say something intriguing. Kaylin says, speaking of 100%, a woman can't give a man 100% of everything either. Both sides at best can give the other 80% of what they want. What women don't understand is when they initiate breakups, it is that they have now sacrificed the 80% that they were getting from the man for complete uncertainty. He says women just love to learn the hard way. Well, do they really learn? or they just pass that buck? But yes, that's what they're going to do. Now, in their world, getting that 80% that you were giving seems quite easy to get, right? I can go get a simp. I can go get a guy that fall in love with me. I can just flood this guy with sex. I can manipulate him. I can, show him my representative. I can tell a lie for 6 months in a day. I can hide my deepest, darkest secrets. They're going to play this, blow the dust off the playbook, and then think a guy's going to fall for it. Now, on the other side, because, women think men are goofy, to be honest with you. They think men are goofy. They think we're dumb. They think we're idiots, right? They don't know that you're listening to Red Pill. They dread that you're listening to anybody Manosphere, all right? They dread that. Like, they just hope that you never bring up Kevin Samuel's names. They just hope that you never bring up Andrew Tate and CGA and Myron's name. They just hope. They're like, hope. Let's hope. And then if you do bring it up, they'll be like, oh God, how old are you? 35 and a red pill guy? You're a disgrace, right? They'll just shame you out of it. Like that they're just hoping you never bring it up. Just trust me. Let me see something. If you're ever with a woman and you're in the getting to know stage where she's just lying to you. She lying to you. She's her representative. She just hoping that you falling for this shit, hook, line, and sinker. And most of the time, you're acting like you're falling for it, and you're getting a couple of pieces of nookie. All right. So what'll happen is, watch her face if you bring up Andrew Tate. Just watch her face. All right. She got you strung along for 2.5 months, and you just you know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby. You know, I know. I'm a man with sensitivity. You need a man, not any man, warm and sensitive. That's what I can give. You need a man, not any man, warm and sensitive. That's what I can give, man, with sensitivity. A man like me. You paying for dinners and dates, you shower her with your love. You like, yeah, baby. You cuddling with her, you kissing her on the forehead, all of that shit. Now, say you was like, you know what I'm at? I'm going to go ahead and listen to Coach Greg Adams. She going to be like, Coach Greg Adams? You don't listen to Coach Greg Adams. You don't believe that manosphere mumble jumble, do you? All right. You don't like the red pill, do you? You don't believe that, do you? All right. Or is she going to glitch out? She going to glitch out. You're going to talk about Russell. She going to talk about Russell Wilson and Sierra. You know, I've been manifesting. I'm looking for the whole Sierra's Lord's Prayer. All right. I've been manifesting a man like you in my life. And then you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Manifesting. Kevin Samuels said this about manifesting. She's going to be, Kevin Samuels. Because then she's going to realize you ain't a goofy. She's going to realize you ain't a goofy. And she's going to be like, oh, this nigga clued in. Oh, you don't listen to that stuff, do you? You can't be a red pill guy past 35. This is a disgrace. All right. She's going to think you a goofy. She's going to be like, oh, I'm out of here. All right. I can't get this nigga. All right. CGA done put him up on the program. All right. Y'all want to know about this nigga. All right. Yeah. Why didn't you tell me you listen to CGA? All right. Why didn't you tell me you hate women? You're a misogynist. But they know about these guys. They know about at least one of these guys, or they know about the red pill and the manosphere. They know about it. I listen to a woman who does sugar baby content, and she knows about the red pill guy. They know. They want to avoid you at all costs. They don't want nothing to do with you. They don't want nothing to do with a man that has been clued in about women's deception and manipulation. They don't want any idea what. They don't want anything to do with you. So if in fact she's trying to lead your ass down to the slaughter, right? And then she got your ass. She's like, trust me, guys, these women are like acting innocent. You know, I just want to be loved. I just want to be touched and hugged and held. All right. And then when they give it their friends, say, like, I got this nigga wrapped around my finger. You know what I mean? I'm going to have this nigga tricking on me in T-3 months. Right. That's what they're saying to their buddies and friends. All right. But they're hitting you with the bat in their eyes bullshit. Now, when they hear that you done been clued in about some bullshit, they ain't going to be like, okay, I ain't got nothing to do. I can't get, okay, he watching CGA every morning. Yep, can't manipulate this nigga. This nigga listening to him every morning, fucking up my whole program. All right, so then they're gonna dip. All right, they're gonna dip. All right, shout out to you right there. Yep, and the whole act will come apart. They call it when the mask falls off. All the act will disappear. All the act will disappear. It's gone. All right, she's gonna stop acting and just take her bag and then go to another sucker. All right, she's gonna be back on the dating app. Oh, fuck this nigga. Not returning your calls. He listening to Coach Greg Adams this morning. Nah, fuck this guy. Shout out to Greaseman Texas says, I just earned 2 certifications for Python and Bash script programming to add to my tech career. Fellas, continue educating yourselves, stay productive, and keep the trash folks at bay. He says, never stay content. Have fun, brother Greg. Stay safe. Shout out to you, Greaseman. The Grease Man in Texas, and he's an older brother out here, and they still out here learning. And take care of your health, gentlemen. Take care of your health. Shout out to Pro Man. He has this to add. He says, R&B got us all messed up. You need a man, not any man, warm and sensitive. That's what I can give. All right. You can credit Motown for this. All right, Motown. But of course, we also know that the romantic comedies, the rom-coms, and the entertainment industry really got us messed up. It got us in a false sense of what relationships are. All right. Yeah. Shout out to our brother here. Caitlin says, when we as men cheat, we don't leave our girlfriends or wives for the woman we cheat with. No woman by herself can give a man sexual variety. but she can still give us 80%. The women we cheat with can only give 20%. We just never elevate them. All right, shout out to you. Women don't want to hear that shit, Caitlin. They don't want to hear that. You think that makes them feel better? Oh, okay. All right, you just fucking her over there? Okay, great. But yeah, shout out to our brother. Have you heard of the rapist, Jeff St. James? I have not. All right. Does he have content on YouTube? I have no idea who that is. Jones G says, what speaking truth to power looks like, CGA? 100%. You know, I'm a speaker of truth. It's truth to power. Okay. I only speak the truth. All right. I'm only going to tell you the reality. I'm not going to tell you any fantasy bullshit. I'm only going to tell you what is and what it is. If you guys went out here and want to live a fantasy and a possibility and you want to come out here and gamble, hey, I don't mind that. That's, you go live your life. But you guys got to realize, and I just saw that there was an actor that recently, he's 50-something years old. Pamela, maybe I got the ages wrong. The guy is in his 70s and Pamela Anderson is in her 50s. And they just got together in love. I don't think they got married, but they're certainly been dating and they say they're in love. Now, in my opinion, love don't work that way. Right. Now, I could have a connection with someone. I can feel good. I can have intimate moments. But that's not how love works, where you're just going to have 80 episodes of love. Yeah, Liam Nelson. He's in his 70s. Pamela Anderson is 57 years old, walking around with a uncurable STI, allegedly. She got videos of her getting fucked on a boat by a big steel rod, taking loads. She been prancing around Los Angeles, jumping on dick to dick to dick. And not only that, had her naked body exposed for millions and millions and billions of people. Now you're just gonna tell me that's how love works in the end? Oh, it's a great love story, and he fell in love with her. All right, she might be on his bucket list. Like, fuck it, I'm in my 70s. I've always wanted to fuck her since she was 18, right? But now she's 57. But come on, bro. And she don't wear makeup now. Like, these type of things are just pathetic to me. For me to believe that that's love. That's not love. That's not love. There's something else going on there. He might be. It's kind of like when Mariah Carey got engaged to that billionaire, and Janet Jackson got married to that Saudi prince. It's on the bucket list. Like, fuck it, I want to fuck Janet Jackson. She's famous. All right, trophy. Kind of, you know what I mean? I fucked Pamela Anderson at the end of her life, and not only that, Pamela Anderson got a whole inheritance from one of her tricks. All right, when he died. So he's just like, let me get a shot at this shit. I didn't get her when she was 19. Might as well get her at 57. This is not love. This is not love. I mean, I just think that love should not work where a person should just hop from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy, girl to girl to girl to girl to girl, and then call it love and relationship. It's just that people get lonely, you know what I mean? And they want to do whatever they want to do. Okay. No government name. Were you going ham today? No, you weren't going ham. Luther Vandross, Luther D. He says, Coach, blessings to the gang while on vacation, safe travels. And Kevin W. says, Coach, in Panama, I better let my niece know to avoid this ninja. LOL, you should visit the Panama Canal if it is not in your plans. I actually am taking a nice little piece of calico to the Panama Canal this week. I won't tell you what date, so y'all niggas won't be up there, but it might be your niece. It might be your niece, Niggy. All right, I know what you look like, and I know what she look like. It might be your niece. Niggy. All right, but anyway, I'll wear a condom. And why is this still crawling across the screen? This should be this. All right. It should be this. All right, but now that it's that, we're going to go to crime and law CGA. We're going to take that banner down. We're going to do a little bit of crime and law CGA here. We got an update on a case that we've been following for many, many years, and it's that goofy ass Samantha Lee. All right, she's the goofy ass so-called male space adjacent, manosphere adjacent, red pill adjacent content creator that's out here dragging Tyrese. And at the same time, she's trying to tell you goofy ass niggies how women work. All right. She's out here perpetrating the fraud to her audience. Now, Tyrese tried to expose her, but of course, Tyrese is not the one, or he ain't the one, and he doesn't have the stomach at all. He's a goofy single mother raised goofball. All right. And I don't feel pity for Tyrese at all. He always crying about something. But let's see what this goofy ass Samantha Lee out here doing. Okay, finessing you niggas too. All right, it says right here, Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife, her name is Samantha Lee. Look her up on the tube. Her lawyers want him locked up. $492,000 attorney bills are not going to pay itself. All right, we don't have the entire story here, but this story can be summed up as she's raking him over the coals. All right, she's getting somewhere near the equivalent of $10,000 a month, maybe $20,000 a month in child support. Okay. He also just finished paying child support for his other daughter, and now she's a fully legal adult and allegedly living with him. Now, par for the course. And now she has a youngin', and she finessed him into a marriage and moved in, and only to divorce him in T-minus 2 years. And now she's out here trying to run his pockets and get him locked up. Samantha Lee, I thought you were supposed to be speaking on behalf and the benefit of men out here. All right. I thought that's what you were doing. I thought you were trying to tell these women to get in their feminine, but you playing both sides of the fence. You two-faced it, mulatto. By the way, I would put hands on hips of her too, by the way. Samantha Lee, I do have some things to tell you about yourself that you probably already know. But let me tell you something. If you were here, you would be getting folded up like a love letter from the 2nd grade. All right. But I just wouldn't nut in you. Or maybe I would just hope and pray. All right. But listen. All right. That's neither here nor there. All right. I'm saying the quiet part out loud. But she also is trying to get him locked up for failure to pay child support. And he says he's not going to pay the full child support amount because he believes that the judge unfairly put a child support order on him that didn't reflect the guidelines from Georgia. All right. It didn't reflect the guidelines. He basically said, well, if you're paying $10,000 in California, you should be paying $10,000 for this child in Georgia. Why should this child suffer because they live in Georgia? All right. So that I think was completely illegal, but it's the family court and they can do whatever the hell they want. Okay. But now here's what you got right here. She want him locked up because he ain't paying her bills. $490. Oh, by the way, he got screwed too. All right. He said they had to pay. The whole case was a farce. The whole case was a farce. He basically got made to pay for her attorney's fees and his attorney's fees. It was a disaster. Poor Tyrese. And by the way, before he was doing this, he was actually shaving another woman's punani on the internet. All right. Again, I do some wild stuff and wicked stuff on the internet, but Tyrese, you're shaving a woman's punani on the internet. A real man shaves a woman punani and panocha on it. Get out of here, bro. All right, get out of here, man. Like the stuff Tyrese does, it makes you believe that he earned all of that. Right? He earned all of that. And then he's one to believe in science, a true Capricorn. Like he comes from a mode of men that don't exist anymore. All right, that don't exist. There used to be old school players, them dudes from Chicago. All right, them dudes from Chicago, they wear the hat, they got the hat, Milwaukee. All right, they got the bright ass suit and non-leather gators, nigga shoes. I mean, they be clean as a whistle. Whew. All right, but they got the hat cocked to the side and niggas running around here, You just, these niggas. All right, when I see niggas like this, I'll be like, you know what I mean? I'm just an old school player, you know what I mean? Money boss players in the building, 58 years old, 67 years old, still just hat cocked. You know what I mean? I'm cool. Just in a full monkey ass simp. See, the funny thing about these niggas, they dirty Macs and simps at the end of the day. Yep, they got the see-through church socks. They got they pimp socks with the see-through shits, right? With the thin ass socks, and they can see through their ashy ass ankles and shit, and them like bright purple ass shoes, purple, different shades of purple. All right, right. Knockoff gators in a big a suit so bright you don't even know where they got this nigga suit. But these guys be the biggest simps and dirty Macs out here, bro. They be the biggest simps out here. If you want to know about these old school players, they are the biggest simps in captivity. All right. If you ever want to, but they gonna act like they pimps though, because they gonna speak pimp out of their mouth. You know what I mean? A player from the Himalaya with the non-later gators and the non-later, they'll get on rhyme and rhythm and rhyme. They gonna speak all of that jive and they gonna be rapping. You know what I mean? Back in the day, hoes, shit, I got more bitches than Kanye got snitches. All right. You know what I mean? You be like, what the fuck these niggas talking about? Shout out to Kumo D. All right. So, yeah. These guys right here, and they'll talk behind your back, and they'll dirty mac your hoe at the end of it. They be telling you, I ain't want to snitch, but I heard this nigga be at the strip club putting his finger in the girl's booty. All right, and they be like, here, but if you need me to take care of you, let me know. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and peel back a little bit. Let me see how much you need, man. How much you need. You know what I mean? I ain't want to trick on the girl, but I need to know you taken care of. Let me hit him. Here you go, baby. Toothpick in his mouth, ass nigga. Biggest simps in the boulevard. Biggest dirty Mac. Biggest two-faced niggas around. Pinky ring nigga. You know what I mean? Pinky ring toothpick in his mouth, ass niggas. All right, these people are absolute pathetic. All right, and Tyrese comes from a group of these men. Because when they talking to brothers, they talk about all that locker room talk. Then when they get around women, the women rule them. All right. Because I look at you kind of like I look at my mama. And I don't want to see my mama out here doing hard time. So I definitely can't see you out here doing hard time, my sister. All right. And the sisters be eating it up. See, you one of the real men. You one of the old school men that I like. I need a man like you. Okay. All right. So this is what we know about him. And Tyrese comes from a history and a legacy of these goofballs. All right. Running around Oakland, East Oakland, running around areas of Chicago and Milwaukee. That's these guys right here. A wannabe fake ass pimps. All right. They never was a pimp. They never had turned one pimp dollar in they damn life. But they run around here telling you that they had hoes and they were slamming Cadillac doors. All right. Anyway, they got 2 gold teeth on the side and a diamond in the back, a sun rooftop, digging the scene with the gangster lean ass niggas. These niggas, all right? These guys right here. My name is Uncle Leo and I'm a Capricorn ass nigga. All right, these guys, you know what I mean? We be going to the nightclub. We go to the damn tavern. All right. And we used to cut a rug up there. We used to do all that. All right. Anyway, these guys, all right. These guys are the biggest dirty Mac, trick ass, simp ass niggas you will ever meet in your life. All right. These people are pathetic. And Tyrese comes from a legacy of these guys. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. We're going to do it live. All right. I'm going to show you, man. And Tyrese, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, I know you be watching me too. All right, but let me show you. We're going to call him Slim. All right, Slim ass nigga. All right, here you go right here. Oh, is he on this Martin Luther King shit? He on this Martin Luther King shit over here. Okay, where he at? All the Chicago niggas hating me right now. Here he come. Yep. Oh, here you go. Yeah. Oh, look, what I tell you. Yep, the fake fur coat, the mink coat, fedora, dead ass giveaway. All right, you'll never see me over here with a fake ass fedora. I mean, a fake ass mink ass coat. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. These niggas are pathetic, bro. Biggest simps out here. Look at it. All right, these guys right here. Let me put on my fedora. All right, shout out to the fedora wearing ass niggas. I love fedoras. They look good. All right, but now look at him. Look at him. He got the pencil mustache. He got the Martin Luther King shit on. You know what I mean? He got the gray Martin Luther King suit with the black tie and the skinny mustache with the fedora. All right, yo, this guy's crazy, man. All right, anyway, that's Crime Law CGA. I'm just ripping on Tyrese for no reason at all. All right, last time I did that, I had to hide. I was ripping on some celebrities, and then I saw them in person, and I had to skedaddle. But oh, by the way, you're not a trick if you're not one of these guys if you wear fedoras. I actually like I would love to wear fedoras and hats and cowboy hats. I just don't look right with them. All right. You got to have a neck at least. All right. And I don't have a neck. All right. I don't have a neck. So, you know what I mean? Anytime I wear a hat, it just looks like I got a big ass hat on. You know, you got to have a neck to have hats on. My traps are too overdeveloped to be wearing big ass hats. I just look kind of weird with a hat on. I just look like I don't have more of a neck. All right, but that's neither here nor there. Have you noticed that I don't have a neck? You didn't notice that, but I pointed it out. You see, I don't have it, and my beard is longer now, so I really don't have a neck. All right, so you see right there, but all right. Anyway, the ladies are like, he doesn't have a neck. All right. I already told you I didn't have a neck. You can't use it against me if I told you. All right. Straggle is no crime and law CGA. We're going to progress and matriculate the ball downfield. 69-year-old man in Florida. We're going out. We're going to rip on everybody today. All right. Florida. Florida. It says 69-year-old man rode his mobility scooter to confront his wife's alleged lover, then fatally deleting him over the secret affair that started in 2019. Oh, the humanity. All right, let's listen to this story right there.
Well, this is all new for you tonight. We're learning what led to a fatal shooting at the Village Flea Market in Northwest Miami-Dade. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office says an alleged affair led a man to shoot and kill his wife's lover. According to the man charged with the murder, the romantic relationship had been going on for 6 years. CBS News Miami's Nakaya Carrero is in West Miami-Dade with how this man carried out the crime. According to detective, 69-year-old Omar Aguila was told his wife's lover was in the parking lot of the Village Flea Market. That's when he got on a mobility scooter, went outside to the parking lot where the victim was in a car, went up to the car and shot him multiple times. According to Miami-Dade Sheriff deputies, back on July 12th, Aguila was inside the Village Flea Market with his son and wife. His son spotted the victim in the parking lot and told him. According to his arrest form, he got on a mobility scooter, drove up to the victim's car, got off the scooter, and walked up to the car. That's when deputies say Aguila argued with the victim for no more than 5 seconds, fired multiple shots at the victim, killing him. The affair that caused the disagreement started back in 2019, according to deputies. He claims he shot the victim in self-defense.
What?
According to the police report, Mr. Aguila told the police that the alleged victim was reaching down. He thought he was going to be shot.
He's shaking his head. This public defender doing her job right there. Shout out to that Millie Mouth Pog public defender out here. But he like, yeah, he was reaching for something, and I had the skitty pop the shit out of him. Now, of course, we have death by simp. We have a 67-year-old man, or 69. We have him not being fully functional on a mobility scooter, shooting another man for fucking his wife. I want to see what the wife looks like. I want to see what the wife looks like, because she cannot possibly look that good. All right, he's in a bad state of condition. He ain't Deion Sanders. She ain't Carucci. Okay, what possibly could he be trading life in prison for at his ripe old age of 69 for deleting a man? All right, for fucking his wife. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these women do carry on with affairs like this. So it is not out of the realm of possibility that you might find out that your wife been getting her lunch squeezed for a good 5 to 6 years. Okay, because they can hide an affair. Her friends and family will hide the affair. All right, and she will make you feel like you're insecure for watching her. All right, and checking her phone. You always have to find that the women that don't want to prove their trust, they try to, gaslight you and manipulate you for trying to prove that she's going to do some wild, wicked shit out here. But you can't even trust a woman that lives in Florida that's with a man in a mobility scooter at 69 to not be cheating on you. And you're going to go ahead and delete her. I mean, nothing says you're a bigger simp and death by simp than deleting somebody and losing your freedom for your old cockeyed ass wife. I mean, how? And why? Listen, I was going to say something, but I can't say it on YouTube. All right. They'll hammer me for this one here, but an affair.
There's no evidence here to corroborate what the defendant is alleging to happen. In fact, evidence to the contrary indicates that the search did not reveal a firearm.
Through the investigation, detectives discovered the victim was not there to see the woman. He was in fact there to deliver food to a friend who works inside the Village Flea Market. Now, Aguila is being held here at TGK on a second-degree murder charge with no bond. In West Miami-Dade, Nakaya Carrero, CBS News. Well, this is all new for you tonight. All
right, let's see this big Keisha she got right here. Where's the elephant noise up here? What is going on with the obesity rate of the average American out here? All right, damn, he shot through the front window. All right, don't come through the front though. Head to the back though. All right, look at this. All right, man, boy, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I tell you, man, this is a disgrace. All right, how about we get some beautiful people out here? How about we get some beautiful people out here? All right, but guys, don't lose your mind for a woman that cheats on you. Pretty much they're almost all cheating. Yes, I believe this. Almost every woman cheats. All right, there's a woman out here, not me, coach. All right, yes, you're cheating in some form or variety of way. Like you're probably doing something that you know your husband, your spouse, your boyfriend, or partner would not approve of. You're carrying on. You know what I mean? You're doing a little bit of too much carrying on now, right? Let me see that phone. All right, but they're almost all doing a variety of it. So how are you going to crash out? The way I do it is basically I have emotional relationships where I'm emotionally unavailable. That's how I get around that. All right, but trust a hoe? Never. Trust a woman? I don't think so. All right, we got that. Is that crime and law CGA? It is. I got to be done here by noon, so we're an hour and some out of ways. So let me do the next segment, and then we'll get to some super chats. All right, super chat me, right? Super chat me. Let's see here. What's the next one? What's the next segment? It's the evil world we live in. What do we got here? We have is this a series of women? I'm not sure. Her name is Toxic Kate, so we're just going to assume that she's doing some rage baiting material here. But this woman says, I choose to be a single mom. I choose to be a single mom.
Sorry, but I love being a single mom. I prefer being a single mom. I've done the whole baby mama, baby daddy thing, being a couple right from the hospital, moving in together with our kid. I just don't like it. I don't like having to wake up, feed a man, feed my baby, and I don't eat till what? Noon? Constantly have to do everything. Have two babies, a grown-ass man baby, and then take care of my kid. Like, no, I like just being by myself with my kid, taking care of my kid, just living life. I like not having to give my body to a man every damn day or whenever the hell they want it. I like not having to give my throat to a man every day. Like, I'm just chilling, being celibate, doing me and taking care of my daughter. I love it. It's peaceful. It's so peaceful. Some girls have good baby daddies, good partners, and they like it. But me personally, I don't want a boyfriend. I don't want a man. I can die peacefully, living peacefully. Like, we're just out here chilling. I blew up a whole.
Enough of that. Enough of what she's talking about here. But guys, this is the old bait and switch. This is the bait and switch that I warned you about. Let me tell you something. She did not have that mindset before she got pregnant. She didn't have that mindset when she was having a party, when she was out there sucking dick and getting trains ran on her, when she was out here picking up her body count and riding a cock carousel. She had no problems with that. She didn't tell him. She told him, I just want to be a mom. I just want to be a parent. I just want to be loved and cuddled and hugged. I want to take care of a man. That's what she was saying. Then when she gets pregnant and delivers the child, then she goes through the metamorphosis. She says, wow, this is unconditional love. I love this child. Which one of these things don't belong? One of these things are not like the other. All right, let's get rid of the guy. Why? He wants to touch on me. He wants to lick on me. He wants me to lick on something, and he wants me to cook for him. All right, let me get rid of him. So when I said single motherhood is a choice, single motherhood has almost always been a choice. These guys didn't leave. They literally escaped. Okay, they escaped because of that right there. So that was the behavior that the man was seeing. And he said, nah, I ain't going to put up with this. I dipped and I left. Okay, because I was not getting respected. She no longer was looking out for me. She said she was going to look out for me, and she reneged. All right, so now I'm sitting over here doing what? With a dry deek, all right, without you giving me that throat, all right, with an empty plate of food and a bowl full of macaroni and cheese and hot dogs and apple slices and bumps and ants on a log and some fucking Eggo waffles and graham crackers, all right, that's all I'm left with, and fucking cheesy snacks. And goldfish. That's all I got right here. And fruit snacks and juicy juice boxes. That's all I got. Okay. Why don't you eat from that? Tombstone pizzas and Dino chicken nuggets and Walmart food. All right. That's all I got. And then I'm supposed to eat on a budget. All right. So there it is right there. That's the idea of when I say single motherhood is a choice. It is a choice. And normally, like somebody said, they're not the best moms. As you can see, she got all the tattoos and scribes all over her. So she's Pookie adjacent. All right. She's been running around in these streets long enough to finesse you out of a kid. This is why when I say the mask falls off. All right. She was in love with you. Now she has. Oh, now she's out of love with you. Now she's out of love with you. How did you get the kid if you had that mindset? Okay. How did you get the kid if you were in that mindset? All right, because you had to fool the guy in the nutting in you, and so we're going to be together and we're going to create a family. She got the kid and she was like, you know what? I'm done. Oh, she also slobbing on somebody else's knob. All right, when she wants to. She just wants to do it when she wants to. Why? Because that's what this is why I don't mess with older women, because they already know what they want to do. They ain't got no time to be messing with me. All right, they know they don't want to cook and clean for me, because let me touch up on you real quick and leave you here with that empty ass house and glass of wine. But single motherhood is a choice. It has always been a choice. It has never been a predicament that they've been victim to. It has almost always been a choice. And she's describing it right here. All right. So it's an evil world we live in. Good luck out here, gentlemen. There's lots of women that think like this, just so you guys know. Straggle and Sniggle, or it's a world we live in. Shout out to the single mamas out here. It's an evil world we live in. We have this. This is going to be, I've seen this guy before. He's a comedian. Maybe he's an Instagram influencer. He goes by the name of Bendadonnn. All right, I've seen him before. I can't really place him, but he seems like he's a comedian. Looks like he's on a stream with DDG, and they're on a boat. All right, so boats and hoes. And what you got here is them having a conversation with some straggles. And let's take the conversation and then break this down.
Yeah, like money to the car so I can pay for it.
But like that's not
To order it on the DoorDash.
But we were just trying to add to that and pay for it anyway.
yeah. They're gonna
You don't got 130 on your card,
I have 130 on my card.
but not like 150.
No.
Yeah, we shouldn't be on no boat then. We need to start looking at job.
I'm gonna send it to you.
I will pay for it. It's just can we not add our shit on there? But if the card ain't gonna go through, maybe we shouldn't use your account.
That's the disconnect though.
Don't put
Like money to the car so I can pay for it.
All right, this is going to be kind of subjected to the main event here, because this has to do with this guy, Bendadonnn, is disgraced at these young women who are on a yacht but don't have more than $130 to their name. So this is kind of what you have to deal with, especially with young women under 30. They're almost always going to be broke. Then you tack on single mothers, who 50% of them are single mothers by the age of 30, or at least mothers. All right. So then you have the divorce rate of 50% better of these women out here being co-parents or single mothers. All right. You're going to have a lot of women out here that are going to be broke. All right. They're going to be broke, and they're out here still going on trips, parties, buying bikinis and makeup at Sephora, stealing at Ulta, doing all kind of crazy, wild, wicked shit out here, acting like they rich, but then judging you as if you're broke, but that she doesn't have that same standard. So he doesn't understand why you would be out here on the boat. Your priorities are all out of whack, and I can't put $150 worth of food on your card so you can treat us. So women typically will be like, well, I ain't got the money. All right. They do this on dates. They do this in relationships. They do this in social settings. They do this all the time. And he's just like, why do we keep putting up with this? Why do we keep having a standard where you could just have no money, be out here drinking up all the drinks and eating up all the food? But then when it's trying to crack that punani, you want to act like I'm out of line and out of order. Okay, why do you want to act like I'm out? You literally out here walking around with one valuable resource, and this between your legs. You came in with no money. Okay, you came here with no money. All you got is pussy, but that's all you got. And then when I go ask for that, I'm supposed to be foul and out of style and out of line. Hey, baby, that's the only thing you brought. That's the only thing you brought. Throw that ass up in the air. All right, put them hands on them knees. Throw that ass in a circle. All right, whatever it is, but I'm out of line for asking for a piece of pocket peace leave, but you running around here with $1.30 on your damn card. Put it up. Yep, she got eyelashes and makeup and extensions and hair done and all of that shit. Face full of makeup, new bikini, all right, all of that shit. She got all of that. But when it's time for you to now, hey, you know what? Take one for the team. Buy a round. All right, get some chicken wings up in here. Give us some lemon pepper ring. Now all of a sudden, you ain't got enough on your account. Okay, why are you on a yacht?
but like that's not
To order it on the DoorDash.
But we were just trying to add to that and pay for it anyway.
yeah. They're gonna
You don't got 130 on your
Sorry, I'm muted again. I know this girl here. She's a content creator, a spicy content creator. Please do not say her name. Do not promote these whores and skeezers. But if you want to partake content on your own time, please do so. All right, sorry, I'm muted. I don't have my normal buttons here. Okay, so this person is also a content creator. She's a nice little piece of chocolate drop. But yeah, these girls are, I know that girl makes spicy content. I know that girl does. All right, but the other girl probably does too. And yes, your daughters are out here. All right, these women definitely do spicy content and still be up here broke. All right, so if you see what we're going on here, when you see them on social media, they act like they got money. They act like they got money. And many times women got money, but they just don't want to spend it. They just don't want to spend the little money they got because they still got to go get other stuff. But yes, I just did recognize that one girl as a spicy content creator as well. But, you know, if you see her on Instagram, you wouldn't even know it. All right. But yep, she sells spicy content on the internet. And I'm pretty sure this other one does too, that has the $130. And look how they looking. All right. And most of these parents are absolutely clueless of what their girls out here doing. Absolutely clueless. All right. I talked to a woman. She didn't even know. She was telling me that she was hoping her daughter, who was in her mid-20s, was saving herself for marriage. I was like, your daughter is on OnlyFans, busting it wide open, getting throttled. Your daughter literally is the throat goat. Your daughter literally drinks piss, right, as a title of her goddamn OnlyFans. Not only that, she's an escort around Las Vegas. Trust me, saving for marriage, that ship is sailed, right? Trust me on that one. And I'm not one to snitch, but Jesus, catch a clue. Your daughters are out here, and she a whole freak hoe. All right, what are you talking about? All right, what you talking about? Saving herself for marriage. All right, your daughter out here on the streets. And she enjoys it too, based on my performance, her performance on me. She enjoys being in the streets. Saving it for marriage is not happening. Right. But yeah, they also got $130 to their name, and they need the next trick to help them pay for something to get something to eat. Right. 100%.
Your card?
I have 130 on my card.
But not like 150.
No.
Yeah, we shouldn't be on no boat.
You shouldn't be on a boat. I mean, I actually agree. Like, the priorities are all out of whack. The priorities are all out of whack. But they be on a boat. They be traveling, having a party. We're going to see this in the main event here very soon. All right, this woman says why men don't leave when they're in bad relationships. But she's paraphrasing women. When women are in bad relationships, they typically don't leave. They'll claim they have Stockholm syndrome or something crazy like this, which I don't believe at all. I just think they're staying to try to get the best amount of attention they can get out of the guy, whether negative or positive. All right. But let me tell you something here. Okay. What you're going to see is a video of a woman explaining why men don't leave bad relationships. Okay. So if it was so bad, why didn't he leave? All right. So let's go ahead and see what this woman has to say. All right. She's definitely a bug-eyed looking little thing there, a bug-eyed looking critter. All right. She's looking like Angel Reese's niece or cousin. She definitely looking like Angel Reese's cousin. All right, so let's see what she has to say here.
If you don't have kids, you're going to tear down.
All right, well, we need to refresh this because that's not the beginning of the video. All right, boy, her nostrils are all flared up. She's upset.
Listen here, I'm so motherfucking tired of you booty head ass bitches want to say, if this man's so happy, why don't he leave? Bitch, you know why the fuck he won't leave. Bitch, he won't leave because he can't motherfucking leave. Because if you do leave, you're going to try to make his life a living fucking hell, bitch. If you got kids, you're going to use the kids. If you don't have kids, you're going to tear down his fucking name. You're going to tell everybody around you how he was a not shit man, but he was so much shit when you liked him, bitch, when shit was going your motherfucking way. Sometimes being miserable with your booty head bitch ass is something that he's willing to sacrifice in exchange for you not damaging his fucking character. Y'all bitches don't just leave well enough alone. Why the fuck do y'all want to be with a person that don't want to be with y'all? Why can he not be happy? Why the fuck do he got to be stuck with you and be unhappy and you're not appreciating him and you're not doing the shit that you need to do as a motherfucking woman, but you want him to fucking stay there with your booty head bitch ass? Bitch, he ain't left because if he do, he might have to kill your ass, but don't shoot the messenger, bitch.
Okay, okay, look at this fisheye fool out here, man. I kind of like fisheye girls. Like, they got the eyes on the side of their head, ass. All right, the Jacqueline Kennedy lazy eye shit. All right, but anyway, she's right. Typically, what men know is that women will do this too. Well, you know, let's say for instance, you're married, all right, and you're married, and you're in a dispute, and it looks like the marriage is off the rails, and the woman will say, "Well, if you don't like it, just leave." Now, everybody knows that's a trap. She knows that's a trap. That's completely, purely manipulation. It's a satanic ritual that she's performing on you. It's the catch-22. Because obviously, you don't like it. You be like, fuck that shit, I'm going to leave. Number one, she knows as soon as you walk out the door, she's going to be at the child support office. As soon as she walks out, you walk out the door, she's going to say, well, you left me. All right. As soon as you walk out the door, she's going to be sucking on somebody else's dick, her work husband. As soon as you walk out the door, she's going to be claiming victim. He just left. He just left and he abandoned us. Right? So, yep. So he abandoned us and he left us and the kids in a lurch. And then she going to run down to child support and file a case on your ass. Right? He left and he yelled and screamed and he threw a towel in my face, and he's abusive. So everybody knows when a woman asks or says to the guy, well, if you don't like it, just leave. Now he's leaving his property. He's leaving his rights at the property. All right. He's walking away. She's going to be like, well, you don't get the proceeds of the sale of the house because you left us. You abandoned us. Everybody knows that's the trap. And if you're young, please understand, she's setting you up for the okie doke. Right? She knows you can't just walk away because now you got to fight and refight for things. Now she's going to tell the court he left us here for the last 45 days. And now he shouldn't get any custody of the kids because he just left. Or she'll make your life a living hell. Like, for instance, you'll be trying to working out with her. You'll try to bring her back in. You'll try to work it out. And then you'll finally just cut her off. Now she's on social media blasting your ass. Now she's down there filing a legal case. Now she's out here talking about she was sexually assaulted by you and you put it up to do. So the guy knows once he leaves, it's just the beginning of the bullshit, right? Now she's going to be able to she's going to try to tell lies on your ass. So you know this. So this is why men typically stay in abusive relationships with women. And then eventually she will do things like what? She'll set you up and typically do things like what? She'll take pictures of her when you have marks on her neck. Right? You put marks on her neck. You put a hickey on her neck. You put some, you bit her arm or shoulder when you was about to nut. Whatever you're going to do. She's going to start secretly recording you, crashing out. And then she's going to call you the abuser, the controlling, the insecure person. All right? It's typically what happens. And this is what this woman is ironing out here. All right? It is a no-win situation. He can't leave because he knows it's the beginning of the end. He knows it's a trap. All right, so she's ironing out that. So I'm glad she did. Shout out to her, that fish-eyed fool, for recognizing why men stay with abusive women and narcissists. All right, it's an evil world we live in. Do we have any sucker for love ass niggas in here? Any sucker for love ass niggas? All right, we're going to see if you a sucker for love ass nigga. We have this woman out here just embarrassing. Women love to embarrass their spouses. Like, I think getting married, and I've been married before, and I'll never be married again. All right, at least not legally. When you get married, you literally are signing up for humiliation. All right, public humiliation, because they kind of see the husband as the straight guy, the guy that just gets humiliated. Now take a look at what this so-called wife did. And they do this to you and you're supposed to take it. I don't know if you guys know, you're supposed to take this. Right? You're supposed to like, ha, 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 ha. You know what I mean? That she'll teach the kids to do it. And then the kids will start humiliating you. Oh, dad, you're just so lame and a loser. Dad joke, right? Your kids will start partaking in it and they'll start talking recklessly to the dad if you don't pop their ass in the lip. So you got to literally nip this in the bud, as Barney Fife would say. You got to nip this in the bud. Now take a look at this. If you're not looking at your screen, I'll read it. It says, this is how bad I didn't want to work anymore. This is how bad I didn't want to work anymore. Now, let's take a look at the picture here. This looks like an Asian man. It looks like at least a half Asian man, a half Ricky Tan with a head full of hair, and he is a silver fox. He is gray hair. All right, grayed out. He looks like he does very well. He has a nice tailored tuxedo on, and they're at a wedding, which is, as the Lion of MGTOW says, a funeral with cake. All right, so they're at a funeral with cake, and she's having a party. She's feeding him. So they're showing their wedding ceremony, whatever this is, the banquet. And the caption says, this is how bad I didn't want to work anymore. Unbelievable. Now, of course, you know what they're going to say? It was just a joke. Kamala Harris said it was a joke. It was a joke. Now, what women like to do is joke on the fact that they're humiliating you. All right. And now when you fire back with a joke, then it's a disgrace and they crash out and they're grabbing knives out of the kitchen. All right. They're grabbing knives out of the kitchen. They need to talk to their therapist. They're saying that they never took it so far. They're going to say things like, it's different when I do it. All right. So this is typically just childish children with breast manipulation. It's different when I was doing it. I was just joking and you couldn't take a joke. All right. Your ego got crushed. All right. And I was able to trigger you. You trigger, you mad. You guys got to realize you're dealing with children with breasts when they do this. All right. But they got pussy between their legs. Grown woman pussy. All right. But here it is right here. This is humiliation. It's literally humiliating the person that is taking the biggest leap and risk for you. Like, why would you manipulate this guy like this? Like, why would you embarrass and humiliate him like this? But of course, yes, they love doing this because that's what you signed up for. I don't think you guys realize that's what you signed up for. You're going to be the butt of her jokes. You're going to be her therapist. You're going to be the person that she gets to take out all of her frustration on, that you're out here boring in bed. Right. So she's got to do these things to humiliate you. But dare you tell her ass to get her ass to the gym because she catching up a little bit. She getting fat. All right. Dare you say something to her and then pull back and say it was a joke. It was a joke, but you took it a little too far this time. You took it a little too far and I can't take it no more. Slip my wrist. I want to delete myself, but you're going to have to do this for me. You're going to owe me a Louis Vuitton bag. It was a joke. I mean, that's disgraceful. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you, man. I mean, I would not want to be that guy. And it looks like that guy took her old skeezer ass and made her a wife. I mean, he turned a ho-ho into a housewife. And now she running around here. You know what? All right, I'm going to humiliate you like a trick. Right? I'm going to humiliate you like a trick. Like, dude, like when people say men are tricks and they talk about men who pay for pussy or tricks, like this is literally a trick. Like, wow, marrying your goof ass and then say, this is how bad I didn't want to work anymore. It was a joke. It was a joke. You guys can't take jokes. Women telling jokes is not funny. I mean, about 97% of the time I've heard a woman tell a joke, it has rarely been funny. All right, like female comedians is an oxymoron. Like, it is not funny. Like, it's almost, let me tell you something, ladies. You're not funny. I know people have said this before, you're not funny, but I'm going to just tell you why you're not funny. All right, you might not know why you're not funny. And the reason why you might not know you're funny is because you haven't trained your timing yet. Your timing is almost always awful. Okay, now, in the context of the joke, if it was properly placed, it could have been funny. But oftentimes it's either going to lean on some sort of humiliation of someone who's close to you, like a spouse, boyfriend, husband, partner, or whatever you have it, is going to lean on that, a humiliating of a male, a son, or it's going to be something sexual, which the last thing we want to hear is a joke about punani from a woman. Now, I'll hear about joke from punani about a man, all right, because it makes sense. Nobody wants to hear you talk about how you throw your punani around the city. All right, nobody, that's not funny. It ain't never going to be funny, and it ain't never going to be drawing up people laughing. All right, it's never going to see people laughing about these things. All right, and if you do, they have somebody holding up an applause and a laugh sign. Okay, most of the time the joke is being told, it is at the wrong time. It's kind of like at a funeral. All right, we got everybody's attention. All right, everybody's watching me. Let me tell a joke. 97% of the time is going to be ill timing. Okay. Yep. It's going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. And then it's going to be worse timing in that. Then somebody even mentioned sarcasm. It's going to be based on some sort of sassy, snarky, sarcastic, passive aggressive move that you're making. I mean, it's almost always going to be bad. Right here, you're like, look, why would you need to tell a joke? They almost jokes by themselves. You know what I mean? Like we would laugh at you at most of the things that you attempt to do. So why are we even wasting time with you telling jokes? All right. Talking about how many niggas nutted in you. Like nobody, that's not a joke. That's in bad faith and bad taste. Nobody cares about that. All right. When I was a firefighter, I had a whole bunch of niggas nutting in me. Like nobody cares, dude. Nobody ever gonna care about that. No man ever gonna sit back and laugh. Now, if I tell that joke and I was like, there was a female firefighter and we was all nutting in her, then that joke is funny. That's a funny as hell joke. All right. That's a story we all want to hear. All right. Let's see here. That's the story we all want to hear. Tell us more. What was y'all doing to her? All right, I had her right there. I had her right there. All right, one in the face and one on the waist. All right, but nobody want to hear about you laying on your back, getting violated by several men holding their dicks. Like, nobody want that. Ain't never gonna be a story I want to hear a woman talk about. Even though it was something you did or something that you imagine or wish to do in the future, nobody wants to hear it, bro. Nobody wants to hear it, especially when my dick is hard. I'm thinking about putting my dick inside of you and you want to tell me, you know what? There was this one time where I was at band camp and I decided to tell all the guys, jump on in, and I'm about to put my dick inside you. Nobody wants to hear that. Right? That's called bad timing. Again, I talked about that. That's called bad timing. I'm sitting in the bed next to you after I nutted on you. All right, and you're telling me you was previously with 6 other niggas at the NBA Summer League getting nutted in. All right, bad timing. That's a disgraceful timing. All right, that's not what I want to hear. All right. All right, anyway, I'm just trying to help these women. Speaking of, we have these wonderful groups of ladies here. This woman says that she keeps her body count on a spreadsheet. Gentlemen, they all keep their body counts on their phone and they update it at will. Some women keep a lot of things on their notes. All right, they will keep things like they will rate their performance. They will talk about the size of the guy. They will talk about how long he lasts, if he was a minute man, if he lasted a long time, if he wore a condom, if he did not wear a condom. They'll talk about where he planted the seed. All right, if he nutted on her face, on her stomach, inside, on the pussy hump, whatever they're going to tell you that. And they're also going to rate the guy. So these women out here are going to talk about their body counts. You know, their past doesn't matter. But they also are keeping track of said past and how many men they've been with. Let's take you to the video out here. There's a guy talking to them above. And she's going to talk about how she has a spreadsheet of her body count.
How many dudes have entered this room, like right here?
Oh, I don't bring them here. I go there.
That's true. So how many dudes' rooms have you went to?
Like 54.
So how many dudes' rooms have you went to?
54.
So how many dudes' rooms have you went to?
I've been to 54 guys' rooms.
Okay, so like you wouldn't even know, like if you went to that many rooms, like you wouldn't even know off the top.
I have it written
Just
down
saying
on
a
my
number.
phone. No, I have it written down on my phone.
Why are
I
you
have their
lying?
name and I rate the.
All right, so she says she has it written. Guys, all women have their body count written down somewhere. All of them, even if it's 2. Okay, even if it's 2, it could be in their diary. It could be on their notes on their phone. It could be on a spreadsheet, because women are good for making spreadsheets. They know they're good at making spreadsheets. All right, it is somewhere. It's on a Word Express, a Word table. All right, they all have them. And so she said she rates the Dilsnick and she has 54 bodies. And I'm going to say she's probably in her 20s. I would say early to mid 20s. Okay, in this case, gentlemen, a 54 body count of a woman in her early to mid 20s, that woman is reckless with her body. All right, it's reckless. Now, a man with a 54 body count is not necessarily reckless. He's probably undisciplined. All right, but that guy probably was putting in some work. All right, he definitely had to work to get that 54. All she had to do was open her legs and say, I'm available. You know what I mean? She just posted an ad on Craigslist and the dudes was not, I mean, that's not, it's a very easy thing to do. So that's not an accomplishment. And sometimes these women brag about this. I had 54 men fuck me. That's not an accomplishment. All right, that's an easy thing for you to do. You could have had 154 if you tried. All right, you know what I mean? You basically gave the least effort you possibly can make, possibly a slightly excellent level lever. I can't even talk now. You possibly gave an excellent effort. All right, and you probably were turning 150 men down along the way. You know what I mean? Like you didn't even work for it. You basically were like, who wants to fuck? All right, here we go right there. Okay, here, can you give me $250? Like you literally didn't even have to make an effort. Okay, so let's go to it and find out what, and take a look at the woman. She looks like Alice the Goon. Okay. Alice the Goon. All right, so people in the comment section are calling her a 3. I wouldn't call her a 3 at all. All right, but take a look at the woman that was able to accomplish 54 bodies. Okay, so now if you're a woman with 54 bodies, which not many women will admit this, take a look at the person next to you with 54 bodies. Her. All right. So if you thought your pussy was so good and you were so beautiful that you were able to get 54 bodies or plus, and you're bragging about it, take a look at who also got 54 bodies. Alice the Goon. Right. Alice the Goon got 54 bodies. So it's not impressive. Now, CGA, 54 bodies by mid-20s. That's impressive work. All right. Hold on for a second. All right. That's impressive. All right. That means I had to actually impress a whole bunch of bitches. All right. So let me see here. Alice the Goon, for the people who didn't know. Let's see if we can pull up Alice the Goon. All right. Alice the Goon from Popeye. All right. This is Alice the Goon. All right. For the people who didn't know, for the youngins. All right. Take a look at the resemblance. This woman has bragging about, she has a spreadsheet of rating men's performance in her early to mid 20s with 54 bodies. And she's bragging. All right. I don't understand women who brag about this. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like, what are you bragging about? Like, you can't be bragging. Well, my pussy that good. I have 54 men wanting to fuck me. Like, bro. You still bragging. Like, they still be bragging too. They'll tell you, well, it's just so fire that they gotta have it. I'm like, again, you're bragging about this. This is the worst accomplishment of your life. All right, just to let you know. And most of them guys gonna be niggas and pookies. Most of the guys gonna be low lifes. All right, the majority of them gonna be low lifes with an occasional upper scale nigga here and there. You know what I mean? Eventually she'll get her hands on a couple of 5-figure, 6-figure niggas and a couple of millionaires in between. Most of them gonna be low lifes. All right, so take a look at this woman right here. All right, let's see what we got. Alice the Goon's gonna tell us about her spreadsheet of her body count.
On a scale of 10.
Are you for
I'll
real?
pull it up. Okay, so I have their name.
Okay.
And then I have how we know each other. And then I have their looks on a scale of 1 to 10.
Look at this. Look at this. Her look, the guy's looks on a scale of 1 to 10. I can bet you there's a whole bunch of 6s and 5s in there. There ain't many 10s in there. There are probably a couple sprinkled in 10s in there. So here's the problem with this. I know I'm cutting the video off, but here's the problem. This woman's gonna then tell you what you have to do to get her. And she 54 in, then she's gonna be like, you gotta do this, and you gotta buy me a house and car, you gotta pay me this, and you gotta give me a $5,000 in allowance. You gotta do, she's gonna start telling you what you needed to do. Again, that video with the young brother said all these other brothers cracked for way less than that. All right, the train, the orgies you went to, but now I'm supposed to do all of this. Like, this is the irony of it. She's gonna be like, a real man knows how to treat a woman, right? How many STIs have you caught? By the way, ladies, if you got a body count of 50 something, you definitely caught at least 1 to 3 STIs. 1 to 3. There's no way you got to the 50s. And I'm telling you, most men, if you got the 50 body count, you caught chlamydia or gonorrhea once. Because you didn't wear 54, you didn't have 54 condoms. And most of these guys that you have 54 with, I guarantee you, they didn't fuck you more than 3 times or 4. All right. So you had to go to the next dick and the next dick. Whereas a person, a male, would typically have maybe a lesser body count, but he'll crack that woman over and over again. All right. He'll crack that woman over and over again. He'll have sex with her 100 times. Okay. All right. But a woman that has been that reckless with her body at this particular age definitely caught one. Bacterial vaginosis. I know you're gonna say it's not an STI, but it's normally accustomed to people that have had multiple sexual partners. Anything yeast infection. I know you're gonna be like, well, that doesn't necessarily constitute an STI. Yet, I mean, it's adjacent to it, meaning that most of the time, if you're reckless with your punani and you have 3 and 4 and 5 guys at one time cracking and nutting in you and around you, you can probably anticipate this coming up. Then when you got chlamydia and gonorrhea, yes, you're gonna be taking some antibiotics. All right, and you're gonna have to take a break. Right, you're gonna have to take a break. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. Let's see what she's rating here.
6 out of 10. 3 out of 10. How many dudes have entered this room, like right here?
Oh, I don't bring them here. I go there. That's true.
All right. So she had what he was noticing in the count here, and shout out to these people here. He was noticing in the count that there was a couple of 3 out of 10s in there, meaning that the performance was 3 out of 10, or the rating of the individual that she let crack was 3 out of 10. What you're going to have to understand is, you know, a woman with a high body count like this is going to have a lot of ugly niggas hitting it. And somebody said out calls. Yep. She probably sells some pussy too, right? That kind of goes with the territory. Women who sell pussy are going to have a higher body count, right? So she made some out calls and she got with a couple of sugar daddies and a couple of guys. She was working the carpets at Caesar's Palace, right? She worked the carpet at Caesar's Palace. She let a couple of niggas hit here and there, all right? A couple of orgies and trains. A couple of them are going to be orgies. All right, a couple of them are going to be orgies and trains where there were 3 or 4 or 5 dudes that cracked at once. And she got each one of them named, right? And she was just sitting on her hands and knees on the bed, and niggas was just behind her, right? In an assembly line. All right, in an assembly line, just hitting. She wasn't even looking at their face. She didn't even look at them intimately. She didn't even kiss them. How many of those dudes did you kiss? 0. You didn't kiss any of them, and if you did, you was holding another dick while you was kissing them. But that's neither here nor there. All right, but anyway, we got some more here on the evil world we live in. I think. Let me see. Maybe we'll save it for tomorrow. Oh, we have this. We'll do this, and I will get to know government names, text messages here. This kind of proves what I was talking about earlier. This kind of proves what I was talking about earlier here. Remember when I was talking about this, where I say a lot of women don't lose weight as long as they're getting sexual attention. Okay. And I say one of the reasons why there's massive obesity of mud sharks in Black women is because they're still getting sex, right? So I said that a few weeks ago, and I said that many, many times, but last week we covered that. Let's see what this woman has to say about it. We have a female comedian.
I have time losing weight because people still fuck me at this size. I would drop those 15 pounds, but you know, they still putting it in. When I stop getting bent over, I'll cut out the carbs. I mean, that's really the reality of it. I always have a hard time losing weight because people still fuck me at this size.
And there you go. Okay, so first of all, you have a female comedian telling crude jokes about men entering her body. Again, never is going to be funny to me. Never really is going to be funny, but it does confirm what I've long suspected, is that if you're with a woman and she is not the desired person that you want from her, but you still are intimate with her, she's not going to become that. Okay. All right. So she's not going to become that. So you want her to get in shape, and you tell her, hey, I want you to get in shape. I want you to focus on that. But you still enter her body. Like she said, I'm not going to have an incentive to lose weight. Or let's say you tell her she needs to lose weight, and then she walks outside and the brother be like, you think it in a Snicker. You think it in a bowl of oatmeal. And then he wants to have sex with her. She's not going to lose weight. All right. She's not going to lose weight. If you have a wife and your wife is, blowing up like the Goodyear blimp, all right, and then you tell her, hey, listen, you ain't gonna be my wife very long if you still looking like this, but you're still intimate with her. She's not gonna lose the weight. She's not. Okay. Somebody said she a free throw. I love that. So yeah. So then as long as she can get attention, as long as there is somebody that desires her, as long as niggas are still penetrating her and cracking her, then that goes along as she can accept who she is. Okay. Now, she might not be wanting to be that for very long. She might not be comfortable in her own skin. She might have some insecurities, but her incentive to look better is going to diminish, especially among the Black community. This is why you see so many Black men with overweight women. All right. It's because they desire them. So then when Black men complain about Black women's obesity, it's ironic. Those women are still having lots of intimacy, and they get chosen for recreational sex all the time. So why would they lose that weight? Also, if a woman is wanting to apologize to you and you think she has disrespected you and she has not verbally apologized, or she gave you a piss poor apology, but she opened her legs to you and you penetrate her, that's the apology. This is how women use their vaginas. All right. They use them as a sense of, hey, I don't need to be better. Somebody accepts me. This is how I apologize. They're not using it typically for pleasure. As a matter of fact, you can see that the woman with the 54 body count, she said the majority of men were not that good. And she still counted it as a body. Again, validation. Okay. Validation. She sold to Punani to somebody who she probably looked down on. Oh, he was just a trick, but she counted it as a body. You see what I'm talking about here? This is how we have to learn and understand them. All right. If he was such a shitty human being, how you count it as a body? How you telling everybody and putting it on the spreadsheet? Wouldn't you want to forget about something like that? No. Now you got to run around here and say, I got 54 guys to come through the dorm. And he was a 3. And he had a little millimeter Peter. All right. He had an inchworm and he barely finished. He nutted in 5 seconds. Body count. But let you come out here and be like, hey, I've been with 54 JUCOs. Oh, you counting that? All right, you a trick. You can't count the girls that you paid for. How? These hoes counting the guys that paid for them. It's an evil world we live in. I think that's it. All right, and what time is it? Oh, shit, I got to close up shop here coming up soon. So let me do this here. We do have whatever's on the thumbnail, don't pay attention to, bro. Don't pay attention to. I'm on vacation. All right. Shout out to our brother Luther says, blessings to the coach gang while on vacation. Safe travels, coach. Jay says, why do women often brag about their options? This was earlier from today. No government name says, let me go back to the bottom. Do you think it's harsh to be apathetic towards death, even towards loved ones dying? Not because you don't care, but because you acknowledge and accept life is random and death comes for everyone eventually. So why worry about it or fear? All right. And as Tupac said, my only fear of death is coming back reincarnated. But yeah, I think, people don't want to see their loved ones die, especially been a part of their lives. So they do feel very bad about it. But, some people are able to get over it very easily. Some people cannot get over it. But nobody's escaping death. We're all dying. Every single one of us. And we don't know how we're going out. We could go out in a fiery flames. We could go out crazy. We could go out and get stabbed by a Latina. All right. Or we can live a whole long ass life and die slow at the end. We don't know. We could die in our sleep. We don't know. That's the mystery of life. How you going to go out? When you see it, you be like, damn, this is it. This is it. Right? This is it. Like, oh shit. Like that's the fucked up part of life and shit. You don't get no warning. You be like, oh, Undertaker bell. Checkout time. All right. I wasn't ready. Shout out to NGN. Do you think Western society attachment to morality and purity in Christianity holds it back from progressing technologically? You mentioned how America stole a lot of technology from the Germans in the past. This is true. This is true. Anytime you see advances in medication and medical science and all that shit, it's the morality people that fail. This is too far. All right, people are playing God, but at the end of the day, I don't disagree with them. I'm just saying that typically advances in science and medicine has been disrupted by the morality, the purity, the Puritans and the Christians. All right, we probably would have learned a whole bunch a long time ago if it wasn't for the people thumping their Bible and shit and Qurans. We probably would have learned a lot about shit. All right, and even if the dinosaurs, they're like, you know what I mean? This shit can't be true. They didn't even want to let us have the dinosaurs. All right, but of course, science is not always right. Would you consider, see, this is no government name asking questions here. Would you consider the religious sheep who live their lives fearing punishment like hell are more egotistical than the guys who live through women seeking merit, peace, leave, and validation? That's a long question. That's very philosophical. I am the chocolate of Confucius, but I wouldn't know if that's a comparison. All right, but people living their life for fear through punishment. Well, punishment is real. I mean, who wants to be punished? People don't believe in hell anymore, but press 1 in the chat if you believe in hell. But people don't really want to be punished. So yeah, hell no. I mean, nah. So they're gonna listen to any goddamn thing. All right, whatever. The Lord's been watching me. All right, whatever. And then they jerk off. They goon. We got NGN says most men in relationships, especially married men, don't know that their girl has had more peace leave than they have had and ever will. Tracons and Sucker for Loves don't have the stomach. CGA warned you and freed you from society. It is a fact that more women have had more women, all right, more lesbian relationships. They have kissed more women. They have had trains and orgies and freaky sex more than men. All right, this is beyond doubt. We're talking about most men. We're not talking about me. We're talking about most men. Yes. All right. Experimental sex. They try this. Women are interesting characters. They be trying anything. They be like, oh, a cocktail of drugs? I'll try it. Because it's free. It's there. Meanwhile, dudes be like, I got to go to work in the morning. I can't do those lines of coca. And then somebody going to want you to pay for it. Let's see here. All right, I'm in Costa Rica, y'all. We doing it live. We got the main event coming up here because I got to get up out of here. I got to check out of the hotel. They're going to be knocking at my door here in a minute. And I got to get to the aeropuerto. The aeropuerto. Niggas ain't donating even on vacation. Y'all niggas are a disgrace. All right, don't let me shut the show down. Don't let me shut the show down, nigga. All right, let's see here. This is a disgrace. Shout out to our brother here. Okay. All right, you said, I haven't seen anything you discussing the NWO censoring the internet in the UK and the similar bills that they want to pass in the US, or the payment processors telling companies to take down illegal or legal games because of the women's groups complaining about them. Are you aware or think it's not worth covering? He says, even YouTube is bringing an age verification where you have to submit an ID to the platform to use it. I haven't seen anything about it, but it wouldn't surprise me that they would do something like this because the internet is fairly new. They haven't got it under control yet. They haven't. So yeah, the internet's new. So eventually they'll get it, just like the telephone business. And you won't be able to hide under anonymity unless you have a VPN. Joshua Moon says, your job doesn't love you, gents. Save your money. And he says, booty head ass beaches. All right, shout out to you. Your job don't love you. They're not loyal to you. Y'all be loyal to y'all jobs too. All right. I want to have a gap in my resume. All right. I want to show that I have more stability at my job. All right. They don't give a F about you. Macaroni Tony, Coach Prime, soft launch with Carucci. He says, I know a free agent when I see one. Deon out here with that blazing thing in the building. Shout out to that lean. Shout out to that lean Carucci. But she's 37 years old, y'all. She ain't no spring chicken out here. Shout out to Kevin Sullivan says, sending some tuition for the train gang. I don't have my sound effects. As you can see, the show does change slightly without the sound effect machine. Big Boss Man says, once a guy changes his life or gets rid of his vices, his girls get bored and wants to end the relationship. This is a reality, okay? Women like excitement. They like drama. So if you are boring, you can damn sure believe that relationship is cooked, especially if she's under 35 years old. Now, some women will settle for a boring guy after getting ran through, right? So, but that doesn't mean she's going to stay. If she's gotten with you during her prime years and she knows you're boring and she settles for it and she doesn't say, I miss my younger years, you're good. But yeah, most women have to have excitement, drama. They have to have something to tell their friends about. Well, he did this and he had the nerve to do that. All right. But you will find that if a woman has a good relationship, a boring relationship with her husband, or the other woman see you, okay, you're out mowing the lawn and, you know, you're taking the rake and raking the leaves and you're sweeping up cut grass and you're sweeping up the leaves and having the kids outside and you're walking the kids in the morning and you walk the dog and pick up the poop off everybody's lawn. All right. And they see that husband as, wow, he's the best husband. You're so lucky. Them women going to find a way to get dirt on you. They're going to find a way to get dirt. He can't be that perfect. He got to have something going on. Is he on the sex offenders list? Okay. They're going to want you to say something negative. If a woman keeps coming to brunch, my husband's so wonderful. All right. Early this morning, he got up and he made the kids dino chicken nuggets. He got the kids ready for school in the morning. He drops the kids off for work, school before he goes to work. He leaves work early to pick up the kids from school. He's great. He's fantastic. He makes six figures and he hands over the check to me. All right. Them friends are going to sabotage that marriage. All right. They're going to be hell bent on sabotaging that marriage. They want all you hoes to get together and be up here, and he don't do that, he don't do this, and he snores, and I caught him jerking off when I was coming back from the grocery store. All right, they're gonna want some dirt. All right, so you got to watch out for that particular level of sabotage. We got Mr. Raymond in the building. He says, salute, coach. Raymond Houston. Dr. Love says, when CGA is live, YouTube feels like touring Switzerland or Denmark. When CGA is absent, YouTube feels more like Guatemala or Honduras. Shout out to you. Goodness. All right. Nobody can keep up with me, even though there's only 1,700 people in here. It is what it is. I'm not at my normal desk. I get it. No Name says, I'm 29. What are your thoughts on starting TRT? Well, I can't give you that type of advice on the internet. What I will tell you is go get your blood work done. All right, go get your blood work done, and they will tell you everything you need to know. Shout out to No Government Name. The Haitian Niggy is in the building. Let's see if you have something to say. The Niggy in Chief. He says, you've been advertising for a JUCO course. I have been waiting for it. Could you give us some of the details, release date, and possibly the probability-wise price, probability if not exact, and curriculum overview, money mindset, and locals member, and free agent lifestyle book. I was just planning out I've actually recorded the course. I haven't edited it yet. All right. So it is coming up. It is on my list of things to release, and it's going to be the next thing I release, the JUCO course. All right. And there's going to be a lot of videos coming out. You're going to see a lot of videos. I'm going to make waves in this space. Niggas going to be calling me tricks. I'm going to expose the dark side to a level that most people on YouTube has never seen, but locals is going to get the best part of it. We're going to YouTube, and you better go to the Ask Coach Greg Adams channel, because that's where the videos are going to be coming out. All right, I'm going to set the red pill on fire. We're going to have these red pill ragers going crazy. All right, LOQC says, I'm pretty sure after Galactus ate all of those planets, he had multiple STIs, especially if he ate Atlanta, Miami, and Houston. All right, shout out to you brothers there. And I think that's a couple more. Tranisha's in the building. Oh, we got a lot. Tranisha says, wasn't the thing for ladies to brag about in the 90s was how much a dude did for them and what they bought for them without giving up the punani and the panties. Like it's a tangible measurement of her beauty. He says the WW needs the most game. Is that the white women? Or that white woman needs the most game? No, yeah. Back in the day, it was what a woman could get from you without giving up sex. Today, like I said, the ship is sailed, Tranisha. Like, we're not going back. Today, these women brag about how easily they gave up sex. That's what they're bragging about. They're not bragging about all these guys found her valuable. All they're saying is, and like this is nothing, I won't say it's nothing new. You guys got to remember, the group of women that are doing this today, they grew up with a culture of whore entertainers. We've always had whore entertainers, but all of the entertainers were whores when they were growing up, right? When they were teenagers, they saw Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and motherfucking Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian. Like, they grew up with whore entertainment. The playmate thing, the 3 girlfriend playmates. Like, that's what they grew up on. Everything was horror entertainment. Sexy Red, Glorilla. Okay, go down the line. Spicy Icy. Right there. Like, they grew up on horror indoctrination and entertainment. Reality shows. Love Island. Like, Instagram. Down the damn line. So when you think about why they're doing this, people think that this is a new thing. Why did they start doing this? Yeah, Black China, like all the way up and down the line. OnlyFans, they grew up on that being a real reality, like Instagram models. That's what they grew up on. That was a gateway. Like, they weren't growing up looking at pure women, the Brady Bunch. They was looking at Black Planet with women with vacuum cleaners stuff up their punani. And then just right-click saving it, and women getting attention and flown out as a result. Cardi B, another one. Like, yeah, 16 and pregnant on MTV. Like, that's what they grew up on. So as a result, this is what you're seeing them do. These women got attention for being whores. I'm going to get attention for being a whore. All right. And this is how men are going to value us. And it is not until they learn that men are not impressed by this. Like, even if the guy was a Pookie, you're not impressed by a woman saying she's a whore. Right. Now, you might be impressed by her saying she does whore things. And you're like, okay, maybe she'll do those things to me. But you don't want her saying, I just did this the past couple of years with these guys. That's the last thing you want to hear. I don't care what type of guy you are. Last thing you want to hear is her talking about her history of doing this with guys. Like, bitch, keep this shit to yourself. Now, if you just into some nasty gooning shit, you know what I mean, and you're a guy that don't get no pussy, then you might not mind, right? You're like, okay, whatever, and that's the only way you're going to get off. But nobody wants to hear this, but they don't see it until it's too late. And their reputation is all ran through by then. But I ain't trying to hear that. As a matter of fact, I'm not trying to hear that you got dick on your breath from earlier today. Like, I probably assume you have, but I don't want to hear it. So yeah, that's the world we live in. Larry C says, what's the best food I've eaten in Costa Rica so far? Is it the barbacoa in there? Shout out to you and the Coach gang. Shrimp fried rice. Sully says, I had a woman write down 75 names in front of me, first and last name, peen size, and performance. That was 10 years ago. Fast forward to today, she's married. I'm not lying for the internet. The topic instantly reminded me of her. 100% chance that her husband doesn't know. Now, that's the sad part about it. So the same time that these women have these body count lists, the same time that they say her past doesn't matter, there's a guy that married her, and then you guys are saying they turn hoes into housewives, but there's a chance that the guy has no clue. None. I can tell you, all the guys that she bragged to about her sexual exploits, the husband she didn't brag to at all. Okay? At all. He don't have a clue that he doesn't have a clue. And if he did, he probably would be reconsidering some things. All right. But these people, he's one of these guys. I don't care about a woman's body count. And she's like, good. Got this sucker. Got him, bitch. Got him, sucker. Got him. All right. Same thing. Cassie's husband didn't know about all of that crazy shit. And then he found out. He was like, oh, shit. Had to walk about the courtroom. Like, God dang. I had a woman once tell me, a young JUCO, 22-year-old Asian woman. All right. Filipina. All right. She was a little baddie too. All right. And she was nasty. All right. She told me a lot of nasty shit. And I was like, why are you telling me this? But anyway, she told me one time she was looking to get married. Of course, people don't realize that girls that do things sexually related, OnlyFans girls, maybe they're an escort or a sugar baby. Guys, for some reason, you think women are one-dimensional, that they will never want to get married. Women want to get married. I don't care what they do. They could be a virgin or a whore. They want to get married. So this woman was telling me, eventually I'm going to get married. I'm going to put this life behind me. And she told me some other wild stories, but I don't have time to tell you here. But, I have a conversation with her. Yeah, the women that get most, 5 abortions, these women want to get married too. So anyway, this woman's telling me the story, and I was like, and I knew her story already. So I was like, hey, I have an interesting question here. If you got married, when you got married, would you tell your husband about the things that you've done, like the things that you've done with me, the things that you've done with other men, the things that you've done in your lifestyle, the dark side? I just wanted to know, would you tell your husband? And she was like, hell no. I was like, oh my God. I was like, good God Almighty. Good God. Because the stories I know about her are insane. All right. Will make you realize that you would never marry a girl like this. Now, she looks cute, innocent. She's shy as hell. Like, she's shy, but dude, she's hella crafty, sneaky, conniving, and long. She got this long, dark hair. She was a beautiful Filipina chick. All right. Yeah, only 22. Yeah, she's lived a wild life at 22. A wild life. Like, I know some stories for her, but she was like, no way. I would never tell him any of this. I was like, shh. I was like, somebody about to marry this woman and he don't have a clue. He don't have a clue. I'm like, damn. I was like, I ain't never getting married out here, bro. All right, I got married once, but never again. Dre the Dream is in the building. Shout out to you. He adds no message. And then Lameek Says, Coach, 2 former co-workers from both of my jobs text me to watch my back. These niggas is plotting and backstabbing. They smile in your face, and all the time they want to take your place. Fellas, watch your 6 and keep bossing up. And yes, they both were fired. But on a positive note, I hope you are enjoying your vacay. Welcome back. You are light in the darkness of YouTube. Shout out to you. Congratulations. Yes, watch your back out here, man. Okay. Watch your back. All right. They out here plotting. Let's do this. Let's do the main event and let's get into it here. This should be brief because I got like 20 minutes, 18 minutes on the clock. You say, I say. I talked about this scenario not too long ago, maybe a few shows ago, about not stranding women in places where, you know, on vacation. So you take her on vacation, you guys get in a fight and an argument. The best thing to do, especially if you're doing business and you do not want your reputation dragged through the mud, it's just to pay for her to go back home. All right, let me pay the flight. All right, I've done this before. I've sent the young lady back home on vacation. I took her out here. We were on we had an arrangement. The most of the trip was going fantastic, but she violated rule number 1. And if you want to know what rule number 1 is, go to locals. We talk about this specifically, and we're going to talk about it in the course. You do have to have rules and guidelines and boundaries. You can't just let these hoes run amok on you. When she violated rule number 1, I sent her home. All right. I told her about the violation. I even was able to show and demonstrate what the violation was. All right. Because I caught it on tape. I actually had it on tape. All right. And she would raise the awareness. I raised awareness. She was able to see it and admit that was a violation. All right. And she got sent home the next day. All right. And so once we got back to the condo or the Airbnb, I was able to say, all right, we're going to get you a ticket home. All right. Or I was planning to take it home. Then she woke up in the morning. We went to breakfast and I said, you're going home right now. Okay. So she, wanted to play the victim and I want to leave and I got to leave now. And I was like, no, yes, don't worry about it. I paid the $450. All right. To change the ticket. All right. And you're going home. So this is a situation where I want men to understand getting revenge is a low-life characteristic because you guys don't realize how low women will go to ruin your reputation and the legal consequences associated with it. So if you do take immediate action to get revenge, which I see a lot of ignorant men doing, listen, I'm all for men and women becoming harmonious. I'm all for that. But I'm not the guy out here that's going to tell you these bitches deserve shit and we need to put them in their place and we need to hold our pip hand back. I'm not playing that game with y'all. All right. I'm not playing that game with you. I'm a grown ass man. All right. I just don't want problems and women bring problems. Okay. I'm guiding you guys in a way that need to be guided. You got a lot of out of control, reckless men in their 30s giving you advice when they never got pussy in their 20s. All right. So we need to get you guys straight. We need to get you guys straight and understand aftercare is important. Now, in this situation, is anything going to happen to DeAndre Ayton? We don't know, but the league could come down on him if this becomes embarrassing. We've seen this with Zion Williamson. Okay, you do want to take care of business. All right, $450 would have solved the problem. Instead, you're kicking a bitch out in the middle of nowhere where she could play the victim and play damsel in distress. He left us out here. Maybe she's lying. We don't know. Let's tell you the story. Okay, but again, let me just preface this. I'm not the guy that you guys can get your fucking rocks off on because you hate women. You hate women and you want to spit in their face and you want to kick them in the shin and you want to make them pay and you want to hold them accountable and you want to embarrass them. I'm not that guy. Okay. I am not that guy. I'm not the guy that's going to sit up here and rage and tell you these bitches never deserve anything and write a whole book about it. I'm not that guy. Please do not tell. I'm not trying to get revenge on a bitch that don't want to give me no pussy. All right. It is what it is. What I'm going to do is send her ass back home and then let that rest. All right. Instead, what I'm not going to do is give her fucking ammunition. I'm not going to give her ammunition. All right. So for you guys, you young guys that don't get pussy and you young guys that ain't never going to fuck an Instagram model or OnlyFans bitch that you always put, you guys go somewhere else with that young boy shit. We grown ass men over here. All right. So I'm going to come down on DeAndre Ayton just a little bit on this one. All right. He fucked up too. All right. You got two idiots, not just one. You got two idiots in this story. But I'm more favoring DeAndre Ayton's reaction. All right. Just so you guys know. I'm more favoring his reaction to this one because you do have to make sure that you are getting what you rightly deserve out of the situation. Okay, so here's the story right here. They have another clip here. I can't show you because she got her ass in the camera. It says basketball player DeAndre. It says Dean Ayton. What the fuck? All right, this is not even the. It says Dean Drayton. It's DeAndre Ayton, accused of leaving a woman stranded in Turks and Caicos after she refused to sleep with him. And this is according to her. There's the woman there. She is a booty model. Let me see if I can show you another picture of her. It says DeAndre Ayton security left me outside in the middle of nowhere in Turks of Caicos. We all make mistakes because I would not have sex with him. Okay. Turks and Caicos. Now, I was just in Turks and Caicos in, I'm going to say April. All right. I'm just losing my mind. It might have been in May or June. All right. But I was just there. Let me just tell you, man, listen, this is not a place to strand a woman. This is not a place to strand a woman. This is kind of an isolated area. You can't really get around very good there. It is a British island, which means everybody driving on the opposite side of the damn road. All right. So it ain't like you can go rent a car. You can rent one, but it ain't easily to rent one. You're walking from resort to resort and you're walking in the middle of nowhere. All right. It ain't shit out there, but niggas out there picking sugar cane or whatever they picking out there. Okay. So Turks and Caicos is not a place you would strand a person. Now, if you were visiting Baltimore and you choose to left a woman, okay, that's a different story. All right. She could go from Holiday Inn Express over to the Hyatt place. All right. She could there's a place to go. Okay. So in this case, it sounds like there was a fly-in. We're just going to have to make some assumptions. It sounds like there was a fly-in. She misunderstood her role, or he didn't make her role clear, which could have happened. A lot of guys don't realize these NBA players get access to these OnlyFans and Instagram models all the time. And they rent them out, they pay them, they trick. This is how they're able to keep quiet and keep cases away. But something must have happened where there was a miscommunication. And then she tried to play him for a fool. Okay, she tried to play him for a fool. Okay, so she tried to pull the, I don't have to do it, which is violation. All right, that is a violation. Ma'am, you knew the assignment. You knew what you were supposed to do. All these normie women talking about him, you don't owe a man anything for him taking you on vacation. False. This woman knew what she was there for. She knew the assignment and she knew what she was supposed to do. That's why she got kicked out. Okay. But maybe there was a failure of communication there and he's not speaking on this because he can't. He doesn't want to shine light on this one because this is why I say he made the mistake. That's when they should have probably sent her ass home. Guys, the airport got 3 gates, maybe 4. Okay, the airport's 30 minutes away from most of the resorts on that side of the island. They go get her a van, send her ass back, get her a ticket. You can get a ticket. There's probably an open seat. But she tried to play him for a fool and get over on him and take the free trip. This is why you have to understand that there are always finessers, no matter how you're dealing with them. Pay for play, mahi. There are bitches like this, all right, that will do this. This is why you have to have policies. No strag policies. I have a no strag policy. I don't deal with strags. I don't care if they Spanish speaking strags, English accent speaking strags. I don't care if they're an American strag. I don't deal with bitches like this. I don't deal with bitches like this at all. Now, every now and then I'll get a Filipina strag and fuck up, or a Latina strag. But I try to not deal with strags at all. He says, why they dealing with IG thoughts? They cannot, guys, they cannot deal with regular women. Okay. These guys and the activities that they engage in, they cannot use regular women for this. This is where they're going to get lawsuits. That's why guys don't understand, man. You guys think these guys, they could get any woman they want. They cannot take a regular bitch and that doesn't know the assignment at all and then surprise her and tell her, no, you got to get a train ran on you at the resort. Because that's what these guys do. They run orgies and trains and they do all kind of diddy shit on them. And they do cocaine. And these bitches will be out here with their camera and filming shit and posting it. So you got to deal with OnlyFans and IG thoughts and escorts and sugar babies. But he caught the wrong one. He probably out here, they probably was 5 of them more girls there. And she probably showed up. Oh, there's 5 or 10 of them. Oh, I thought I was special. She probably thought she was special. And she was like, bitch, you ain't special. Get her out of the room. She ain't going to do it. Nah, before the Diddy party start, we got to get her up out the room. So I'm pretty sure she wasn't the only one there. All right. We don't know all the details. Maybe somebody does know all the details. All right, there's a story here on World Star, but I can't show you the thing here. There's a 48-second video here. Okay, so it's a private jet. It looks like it's private. But guys, let me just tell you as a man, you guys don't realize this. This is who these guys deal with. Okay, they don't deal with regular normie girls to do shit like this. When they go have fun and have orgies and trains and parties and invite bitches out and they go to Turks and Caicos and they rent out the floor, they are dealing with OnlyFans and Instagram girls. All right, that's who's going to be willing to do shit like this. Not no regular normal girl, not no high school girl just graduated from high school. These bitches don't know what they're doing yet. They're more likely to. All right, now here's the video here. According to her, all right, it says right here, this is her Instagram flying private to the island. And then she assumes that says right here that the security left me outside in the middle of nowhere. All right, damn. I got to be careful. Shit, I didn't preview this video here. Let me take this down. All right. So apparently there's some music here, and this might be possibilities of videos of her twerking. There are multiple girls there, so she wasn't the only one there. All right. She's got her big fat BBL in the picture. I can't show this on YouTube. All right. They're going to be on my neck. All right. And she is very much half naked. I don't understand these body shapes. Look at these. You should see this shit. I can't show this on YouTube. But she's assuming or trying to say she's a damsel in distress without telling the other side of the story about her catching the attitude. All right. But they're showing all the videos from Turks and Caicos and yeah, big booty model. Big booty model. I can't show it, but you guys can look at it if you want. All right. But anyway, she's saying that she got kicked out for not having sex. That might not even be the case. However, here's the deal. Once she caught the attitude, why didn't you book a flight home? Like, why did you book the flight? Why did you kick her out here? According to her, why did you just dismiss her with no means to get back? That's number one. So that's where you guys got to move a little bit more better. Now, here's the other thing about it. We saw this in the previous video with the Don guy, where these women go on tape. I mean, they go on trips with no money. No money. So she's saying she's stranded in the middle of nowhere. Okay, which Turks and Caicos is in the middle of nowhere, man. I mean, most area, it's not a city. It's not a city where shit you could just easily hop to. If it's dark and you're at a resort and you're outside and they're telling you you got to go walk back to the resort that you got picked up from, bro, you walking in the dark. All right, you walking in the dark. But how in the hell that she don't have the ability to order up? Do they have Uber there? They have a ride share service. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've used it a couple times. All right. So they do have a rideshare service. You should be able to get a rideshare service, but you should be able to book a ticket. $450. You can get back home. There's an open seat. Okay. You should be able to do this. And somebody's saying she lied. This is why, guys, you guys sound stupid to me. You guys sound stupid. You gave her room to lie. That's the problem. You gave her room to lie. When will you dumbass niggas get it? You can't give her room to lie and play damsel in distress. Okay? It says she made another statement. He didn't have anything to do with it. JD, are you an idiot? Like, God, JD, are you an idiot? See, guys like you are dumb. Like I think guys like you are dumb. Well, she said this and she said that. It's too late, nigga. It's too late. He already broadcast on the internet. He'd make $150 million. The damage is done. You guys are so dumb. The damage is done already. Well, she said now, second part of the story, she said he wasn't involved. It's already damage is done. Stop with the dumb shit. Can't give them room. Nigga, if he didn't know, he probably should have been like, hey, let's go walk out here, baby. I'm going to make sure you get the ticket. It's too late. That's the point. That's why you got to move in a certain way. Saying that she lied and he made it up and she came back and made it or another statement, it's too late. That's why you got to that's why you got to have your shit in order first. This is why you don't do these things and have certain people around you to fuck up your whole program. You can't understand. This is why you guys trying to, oh, we need to give revenge. And she came back. Where's the story on the second statement? I guarantee you it's buried on page 20 of Instagram. Nobody cares. Once she came out with the first story, that's it. Soon as they start acting up, you got to cover your bases. Let's get the security cam footage. Let's get the recording. Let's make sure we have this. Let's get the non-disclosure agreement. Let's get that. Make sure you take her here. Take her there. Okay, security. Don't ever kick a girl out. If she says she don't want to fuck, all right, you get the car, you take her over there. You book the flight, send her back home, say bye-bye, have a nice day. That's called aftercare. This is the point I'm trying to teach you. This is the point I'm trying to teach you. This is why when people get in trouble, y'all get up here and niggas be doing 8-hour live streams trying to talk. Oh, and she did this and she did that. Nobody gonna watch that shit. It's too late. Nobody's watching. Nobody's gonna watch you 8 hours present your case because all they're gonna take is the one part of the story and run with it. And now, who has the most to lose? Her, the security, or DeAndre Ayton? A guy once told me, never mess with a woman that doesn't have as much to lose than you. And write this down. Never mess with a woman that doesn't have as much to lose as you do. I'm going to say this again. Never mess with a woman that doesn't have as much to lose as you do. Now, if you do, you better be having aftercare. You better have the NDAs, the cohabitation agreement. You better have the motherfucking model release forms. You better have the security on point. Nigga, this happened. You better make sure she go to the airport. You better make sure she get the ticket back. You better make sure you can't kick her out of nowhere. No, what y'all doing? All right, no, go get her. Go get her. Oh, no, not simping. No, it ain't. You got $150 million. This bitch don't have $450 to her name. You're messing with women that don't have as much to lose as you. So as a result, you have to do certain things. Now you're all blasted around the internet. Nobody even knows her name. She don't have no money to her name, but she's able to get on media and then in a fit of rage, lie or put your name into it because she said the security did this to her. But she said who security did it to her. She didn't say security left me out of nowhere. She says DeAndre Ayton security led me out of nowhere. You got to act like this because you niggas get in prime position and you fuck it up because your dick discipline or your lack of ability to see who these bitches are. You thought it was different. It ain't like that no more. It ain't like that no more. Y'all got to record. Y'all got to have your security on point. You got to make sure you have aftercare. You got to make sure, okay, this she don't want to be on program. That's fine. All right, she knew the assignment, but y'all go argue with the bitch. You knew what you was supposed to be here for. I ain't got to argue with her. She says she don't want to fuck. She don't want to get in the train line. Okay, cool. All right, we got a protocol for that. Go ahead and send her back to the hotel. Take her back in the van. Everybody put their pants back on. Put her back in the van. All right, send her ass to the airport. We're good. But y'all acting like big dogs and little dick niggas at the same time. How? You the big dog. You got $150 million to lose. You playing for the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron. You think LeBron wants this type of attention? No. So handle your business and stop acting like dumbass niggas out here and lowlifes. That's how you got to act. That's how you got to act. You can't just be like, well, she should have known and we're going to leave her stranded. No. That's not how you do it. That's not how big boss players do it. All right. But hey, it's only going to take one bitch to make you pay for all the other women that you got. So all men pay. Deandre Ayton had to know. And if you think these women got any money, I don't care if they on OnlyFans or they an Instagram model, they escort, they sell pussy. I don't care if they the CEO of Wells Fargo. If it's a woman, she ain't got no extra money, especially if you messing with her. And no, they cannot do this with normie chicks. All right. You think they're going to do this with some girl that just graduated from junior college? She's 19 and she don't know nothing from nothing. She's from the middle of Kansas. And because she's got starry eyes that he's a celebrity, that she going to get in the train line. Okay. She ain't getting in the train line. She going to do the same thing. Well, you know, I've never done something like this before. She going to tell the whole world how it works. So this is what Instagram models are for. That's what they do. They get in train lines on command, right? That's what they do, or that's what they're expected to do. Do me a favor, man, hit the like button on the way out. It's checkout time for me, but let me go ahead and see if there's any other contributors to today's show. We got Tranisha says, and what's up with some people's age gap dating, shaming Karuchi? That woman is damn near 40, and she should have a successful, cool, handsome silver fox if she can get it. I'm glad Prime pulled through the surgery. He is a Colorado treasure. Yeah, because Karuchi is still considered a kid, though. Like, we know Karuchi has some teenage. So she's a forever teenager, and she still looks kind of young because she's Asian. So we still think Karuchi is a kid. So we're still, like, mesmerized that she's near 40. Jay says, since you have seen the before and after of a woman who were like today's modern women, can you give us a glimpse on how women typically end up? Most of them end up fine. Okay. We all think that they're going to crash out and be poor and be living in the dilapidated building with the roof caving in. Now, some of them will deal with that for temporary, but most women end up fine. They're going to end up all right. They're going to end up with a sucker or by themselves, living bare minimum, 1-bedroom apartment. Maybe they bought a house and the house is just fucking leaning sideways. They'll be okay. Women can live off far less. All right. All right. They'll buy a house and never be able to sell the motherfucker or foreclose it and move into an apartment. All right. In their world, that's fine. All right. For us, that would be substandard. All right. But most of them end up 1 or 2, 3 times divorced, living with cats. You know, let me show you a woman real quick where I'm going to demonstrate that. Let me see if I have the video. Now, in our world, but guys, they're still fucking. Guys are still fucking. Or you know how many women I met on dating apps like that, living on top of the garage of their son-in-law's house, still getting fucked up there, asking for a relationship after 2 pieces of pussy, right? I've seen that. In their world, that's fine. They can live like that. All right, with no potential for job growth and shit like that. They live like that, bro. They live just like that, and they'll be like, this is good. They don't think that they're living bad, right? Eventually. But in their world, they live just like that, man. They'll be like, this is good. All right. Now, for me, that would be a shitty life. But for them, they get away with it. All right. I don't have the video. All right. Let me do this. But you think that they're going to be just like, they'll have Social Security. They'll live off, you know, they'll minimize. Some of them will travel a little bit. Some of them want a relationship. But, you know, for us, if we live like that, they would judge us for this. They would be like, man, you guys are terrible, man. Like, you're broke. They still call us broke. But guys think that those women are going to crawl back to you and be like, oh, we need you. And nah, we need you guys. And we fucked up and we should have turned left. We should have zigged when we zagged. Nah. And guys think women are going to somewhere be remorseful. All right, they're going to be remorseful for this. They're going to be apologetic and they're going to wish they did different. No, they don't. They didn't know. Never in the history of woman have they looked back and said, you know what? I should have been a better wife to my husband, my first husband. You know what? After looking back at what I went through the last 25 years, I realized I fucked up. I could have been more mature. I could have handled it better. I could have not dragged them in divorce court. I could have cooked and cleaned. I could have stopped sucking the coworker's dick. Like, they never sit there and do this. Never. You know what? I could have cleaned the house and cooked after all. You know what? Damn. Let me call my first ex-husband and tell him. Never. Never they gonna make that correction. Never are they gonna crawl back on their knees. I listened to feminism far too long. Never. They'll just dwell in the regular normie area and Linda Hogan tried to do it for a minute, but she had an episode, crashed the fuck out. Now he dead. And Linda Hogan can't wait to go to this nigga's funeral. Linda Hogan can't wait. Hey man, if you understand about divorcees, understand this. You're waiting. You want to be the person that dies second out of your divorcee. Linda Hogan can't wait to put on her black motherfucking hat and her veil and walk by this nigga casket like, yeah, nigga, who laughing now? She can't wait. She can't wait to, with her fan and walk past this nigga casket like, yeah, nigga, look at you now, bitch, nigga. She can't wait. She dreaming of this day, nigga. She dreamed of this day. She dreamed of this day. She good, motherfucker. You died. Nigga. I get to see you in your shit, nigga. Look at you dead in that motherfucker. I get to see you all motherfucking rotted up in that shit. Look at you up in that bit. Because I'll be doing the same thing at my ex-wife funeral, like, look at you motherfucker now. All right, but look at your dead ass in that bitch now, nigga. You're dead now. You ain't doing shit now. You ain't saying shit now. All right, Jermaine is in the building. He says women have more pivots than Tony Parker in the paint. Shout out to you. That is a co-sponsorship. They sure do. He said that Alice the Goon was way from downtown. Bang. And Angry Little Dude says, Sensei, do you regret getting out of the Matrix? Never. Never. I'm never going back into this motherfucking Matrix, bro. Never going back in, man. I ain't got no time for this Matrix shit. I ain't got no time for these normies. All right. Let's see here if there's some other brothers here. Because I got to get up out of here. I got to take a monster 8-ball piss. Too much information. Too much information. But I got to go. I'm holding it. Let me see here. I'm holding it. I'm tap dancing over here. Where we at? Hopefully we ain't got too many. All right. Yeah. I want some support, but now I got to go. All right, I'm headed to Panama, y'all. Shout out to the Coach Gang. Do me a favor, man. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll pop in here and there along the week. Shout out to the Coach Gang, and strap up, wear your condoms. I'm about to put hands on hips. Peace.